Welcome to Open Minds, Open Mic, the place to be on a Friday night. We have a special delight for you tonight. We have a double feature, Love Infinite and Sfongo. I'm so excited to hear what they have for us tonight. I think I'm going to start us off, though, with a poem that I wrote for Sfongo's first feature called Phantoms. I hope you enjoy it. Manifesting phantoms, fanning messes, finding blessings once the dust left us. Amongst the stuff I saw a box labeled only open with trust and pure thoughts. I wiped the cobwebs off, took a deep breath in and paused, cleared my mind. Not sure what I'd find inside, felt a tingle run up my spine, goosebumps down my arms. Don't be alarmed, a voice whispered to my heart. I began to start untying ribbons, so ornate and carefully placed, beginning to taste the sweetness in my mouth. The air in the house smelled like an old memory I just couldn't live without. Slowly I lifted the lid, and as I did, I felt the great presence enter the room. This present was meant for you. This voice softly spoke again. I closed my eyes as I set aside the lid, felt the rush of love and light wash over my soul. I opened my eyes, took a look inside. What a surprise, a true sight to behold. The voice then told me to hold on to this treasure forever. Never forget this gift. Protect it with great care. It is yours to share with all you ever have and ever will love. Suddenly, a force from above entered into my being. I then began seeing my destiny laid out in front of me to spread love and peace across the globe with the greatest of ease. Thank you guys for listening. All right, so first on the list tonight, we have the lovely Nona Lee. Nona, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we would appreciate it.
Absolutely. This is a little bit long, so it's only good. The only poem I'm reading tonight. Magnolias. I was brought into the land of giants spidering across the bayou, cicadas humming their harmonicas, moss creeping upon tombstone, and streets flooding with embalming fluid. I was brought into the world on a hot December day through a prayer. Lord, please grant me a little girl with a bright red hair, and I'll name her the prettiest name I've ever heard, Nona Lee. Nona Lee, the great-grandmother I know from a painting of magnolias blooming in the life cycle of maiden, mother, crone, a bud about to twist open its petals, a pregnant bloom dancing ball-gowned, falling into post-abscission, curling inwards as the babies leave the nest and the flower asks, what do I do next? Nona Lee, who married into a bloodline that came to these lands hunting for greener pastures, to shapeshift grasses into cold hard cash by means of sweat and by means of blood, praying to God but praying louder to the almighty dollar. Nona Lee, who watches her heritage buried under the magnolia tree by a woman in a sundress wearing long gloves stretching to her elbows, a big Southern lady hat shading her face and shoulders, and papers hungry for a percentage of blood, moaning in an esoteric tongue. Nona L.E.A., who was supposed to have been Nona L.E.E. if the doctor didn't take creative liberties. And while this might not be a legally binding document, we can correct that mistake today and call you by your mother-given name, Nona Lee. Nona Lee, do you know what your name means? I've searched the meaning of our names in as many languages that will take it to find a secret meaning, a sort of connection, hidden heritage to you. You see, all my life, people have been asking, what's your real name? Because they think Nona must be a nickname for something like Winona or Ramona. Since the name is so alien to their ears, it sounds like the static mutterings of a scratched record, and they are certain that the lyrics they heard are wrong. So they call me names they think my name should be: Nina, Mona, Rona, Nikki, Julie, Barbara, Janie. Those who recognize my name tell me in Italian Nona means grandmother, and they ask if my parents purposely called me an old lady. Though when actually translated, English adds an extra N, making the name Nana matching with the pattern Mama. And when I inform them of this, their all-knowing grins tilt down and they still struggle to swallow my name. But Nona is not an unfinished name. It is not misheard. It is not wrong. She finds her roots in ancient Rome as a name given to a ninth daughter because her name is synonymous with the number 9, but she is not just a number. Nona is the fate who spins the thread of life, and as pregnancy is 9 months, as the baby spins the womb from a thread connected to its mother, the number and the goddess have become intertwined. While it's not clear which came first, the goddess or the prefix, and while most baby name blogs suggested the number was paired with the goddess, no Roman in their right mind would ever name a number before naming a goddess. Therefore, all Nonas are not, by definition, numbers, but goddesses. Nona Lee, did you know you shared your name with a goddess? Did you also know that Lee means clearing or meadow or grasslands? So when you combine the meaning of your first and middle name, it becomes the goddess of the flowering grasslands who spins the thread of life from her spindle. Isn't that just beautiful for someone who loved to garden? I was always told you wore this big sun hat, gloves reaching to your elbows, and you'd toil the soil of flowers and vegetables, wearing a sleeved dress coming down to your ankles, even when the sun could sizzle butter in a cast iron pan, even when the humidity purled on your cheeks, you'd wear that whole outfit because if the sun got a hold of your skin, it would turn brown red. And back then, and still today, the only skin type it was safe to be matched with was egg whites. Well, Lee means grasslands. My name, Lea, means delicate or weary, and I am very weary of its masculine variation, because even though my eyes are just like yours and have resisted colonization, my skin right now is tanned and still white as my damn bones. See, Lee is a name associated with Confederacy, and I'm sure you could find a statue of him somewhere down here in the boot state. And I don't want a name associated with a legacy of slavery that people with American and Confederate flags call just a dispute of state rights and has nothing to do with slavery. And while your name would mean a goddess who created life, mine, if spelled Lee, not Lea, would imply the opposite. But I'm rather fond of the meaning of my name as is now, the weary goddess who spins life from her spindle, because I am so fucking tired of people asking where my name comes from. I still don't know why your mother named you Nona Lee. And I still don't know why, even though you painted other flowers, watercolor lilies in cracked ceramic pots, you painted magnolias most beautifully. When my mother wasn't looking, I often traced the grooves of the strokes following the vanilla curves of the blooming petals, the waxy large leaves, staring at the small signature at the bottom of the frame with a personality quieter than my own. Maybe you painted them beautifully because giant flowers blooming from a land of tombstones, mosquitoes, and slick, stagnant mud with startling white petals, standing in sheer defiance of the miasma, are magical. Maybe, like the magnolias, you also want to be remembered as beautiful. To me, your name is beautiful. Rest in peace, Nona Lee.
Ooh, yeah.
Absolutely sublime. That was beautiful. I feel like I got to meet your grandmother in that, you know? That was that was amazing.
Sublime.
Everybody, unmute yourself and give it up for Nona.
That was beautiful, Nona. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. That was
fantastic.
A wonderful tribute.
Really enjoyed that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, your imagery is insane. Like you painted a picture, like you literally painted this picture that I felt like I was there watching you rebel against General Lee. Like I was there, I was there step by step by step by step. So yeah, man, that's cool, man.
Yeah, that was amazing. Good stuff, good stuff. All right. What a beautiful night so far. And to share the love and light, we have Lantern Carrier coming up next. So if you could bless us with some words, brother, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you, my brother. I love those colors. I'm sure they're attributed to a certain catalyst. Give her flowers, but it could be you.
Yeah, I made this one. It was part of the image generations when I was making the flyers for this event, so I figured I would, and because it kind of stuck with the theme of the flyers and stuff. And I like it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm sitting in this really cool forest, with this beautiful energy above me here.
Yeah. Okay. This dance of love. Love dances endlessly to the melodies of its own songs in silence. Movement is everywhere, and the universe dances in harmony to the symphonies of its own rhythms. Death is a dance where emotions weep, hearts grieve and sob in a rain-filled abyss, unfamiliar with the immortality of the soul. Are you looking for wonderment? The caterpillar spins a chrysalis, then metamorphoses into a butterfly which dance in circling loops, spontaneously following the music of awe and pageantry. My soul rejoices, bewildered by the magic of creation. Love dances like an actor on a stage to its own lila, its divine play, much sweeter than the genius of Plisetskaya in Swan Lake, weaving its own songs, waltzing its own finesse and majesty from which the ballerina feeds. Amidst all this, Gaia spins on her axis, glimmering with joy and precision, feeding off the planets, the power of the constellations, and the charming allure of Andromeda, moons, and nourishing sun. I once danced all night, attracted by the love I felt to be in the physical, the alluring ways of women, they too dancing, sometimes morosely, with the unseen and subtle competition offered by the varying wiles of the fairer sex to assuage their insecurities and ours. Have you got inner vision? Can you feel its cadences? Day and night creation dances like rows of golden flares glistening in the darkness. Even as the lapis lazuli of moonlight glows an iridescent grandeur, and the illustrious dawn prepares to heal our maladies, awaiting its next temple. Nureyev moved with an epitome of grace, a subtlety of dance unparalleled in modern history. He knew how to blend with the breath of breaths, the mantra of being, and the om of emptiness. The immortal journey from the beloved who narrates and navigates this supernal dance. Yes, this is an adventure of sorts, as I'm separated from the beloved, crawling, walking, or waltzing my challenges, striving to rediscover my way home. I've got one more.
Absolutely sublime.
Thank you, thank you. You, my sweet love infinite. As to Trejon Andres Jubery, aka Love Infinite. Heaven granted you graces, my heart burning with the glow of thy love infinite. The intensity, eloquence, and flow of your soul's beauty was like a refreshing wind as the stars twinkled their merry carousels of light in heaven. Swallows are agile and majestic in flight, but even those red-crested passerine songbirds are no match for your elegance, charisma, and allure, your engagement with symmetry and diction, your streaming flow, vibrancy, and magical words. Fireflies dance in the moonlight, but it is your heart of integrity and beauty that now dances in my soul. Musicians speak of signature pieces, but for me, this light of your spirit, this soulful benevolence, is what imbues all your rhythms, your image-filled bars with the celestial wine of infinitude. Come, let us waltz in the twilight, drink wine tonight, for the citadel of my being longs only for your sweet invocations. More than the purity of lilies or the fragrance of lavenders, you have a refreshing style of delivery, which is eternally matchless and very much your own. My home is within, and the path is narrow, yet I drink of your transcendence daily, that metamorphosis from caterpillar to butterfly. With you, dancing into the transformation of genius, the flight to grandeur, effortlessly flapping on your kaleidoscope of colorful wings. You arrive daily, waltzing upon the dawn in the agony of my longing. I bathe in the poetry of your swan-like style, poised, graceful, like a peacock, basking in the bewildering symphony of intonation and wisdom. You access a vulnerability, transmuting it with roses and the balm of paradise. The blue mist of my sorrow fades, sauntering across the bridge of happiness. Here in the so-called labyrinth of despair, I have encountered so much flowers. It is your light that adorns the hearts of poet lovers and beyond, even as your exquisite bars enchant my spirit and the decor whispers to my core, saying, more, more. It is then I let go of all wintry things, savoring the joy your lipped ink brings to the summer of my delight. Come, love infinite, let us drink wine tonight. We'll dance in the twilight, sitting with migrating swallows of Africa, reminiscing with griots about the most beautiful and eloquent empresses of Nubia, and you'll be the crown of crowns, the crown of crowns. Stars waltz in the darkness, so that hearts may rejoice. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Wow, that was absolutely beautiful. Love, would you like to say something and thank him
That
for
was
that?
beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, Lantern Carrier has shared this poem before, and it is absolutely, breathtaking for sure. I don't even have the words as a poet, as a writer. I'm still finding the words to thank Lantern Carrier for this poem. It's incredibly kind, it's incredibly intelligent. I think it's a type of poem that you wish, people that you have been in love with will write about you. the kind of poem that you definitely want to experience, sometime in your life. So it's definitely a gift from God. So I thank you, Lantern Carrier, and I really appreciate you writing those beautiful words. Like I already told you, you already did the poem for me, but it's just so many beautiful images in it that I honestly would love to use to describe myself as well. So it's gorgeous, and your soul is gorgeous. So thank you for
It's a
sharing.
gift from me to you today. I know that what's his name, Thomas, has already done one for Fungo, so I thought it's appropriate that I did one for you to get in today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Always
Thank you
taking
both
care
for
of me. Shout
featuring.
out to Lantern.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, if everyone else wants to unmute and give it up for Lantern Carrier.
Woo!
Awesome.
A
Amazing.
beautiful love
Thank
letter
you.
from peer to peer.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. So coming up next, we've got Shockie G, fresh back from Albuquerque. Um, take a few moments and let us know how it went. I know a lot you got to link up with a lot of people there. And I'm kind of jealous that I wasn't there, so I hope you spread the open minds love to everyone too. But yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself and bless us with some words.
Okay. It was fun. I don't have lot to say about it. I think everyone should go next year if you get the chance. Let's see. All right. Poem. We will be back with more poetry after the following message. 10 years past retirement, looking for a solution that allows you to feel powerful in this modern world? Welcome to the prime retirement living space, known as the American Congress. Here, your loved ones will get to live out their days as our forefathers intended. We are doing our best to make it feel like the good old days by rolling back any legislation that appears progressive or socialist. We have a variety of packages available to make your loved one feel at home. With the Pelosi package, your female members can feel like they have fought the patriarchy by taking part in activities like ripping up speeches, but not making any real change. On the flip side, you can enroll in our Bernie Bros program, which primarily consists of Alzheimer's residents pushing agendas that sound great, but no one takes serious. Love children? Let me introduce you to our Matt Gaetz experience. It is an exclusive club, but if you are interested, you can just call your local pizza shop to place an order. We even have special events celebrating diversity. Most recently, when a number of Black people have been shot by police, we dress in our kente cloth and pretend to have solidarity. Don't worry, your grandparents and guns are safe with us, as they will not pass anything meaningful. Depending on your insurance, they will be given a cachet of thoughts and prayers to hand out when necessary. Just so many activities to keep them happy until they pass. Speaking of death, we will care for your loved ones long after they are dead. In fact, if you purchase the Mitch McConnell package, we will animate their corpse and parade them around Washington long after they have lost lucidity. This is also known as the Weekend at Bernie's plan. Not to be confused with Bernie Bros, because for some reason, people will listen to and react to the short recorded messages programmed by other members. In short, for the right price, the country can be destroyed and devalued right before your eyes. Remember, here at American Congress, freedom isn't free. American Congress, America's best retirement community, not to be confused with American presidency.
That was dope, Shocky. You always seem to surprise
I am
everybody.
wiping away tears.
Right? Everybody
Fantastic.
unmute and give it up
Oh
for
my God.
Shocky.
Yes.
God, that's good.
Awesome, Shockie.
Simply sublime. Simply sublime. All right. We have a lot of people on the list, so I'm going to try to keep this thing moving and grooving. Up next, we got someone from over the pond. They just recently started coming back. They've been so busy and we miss her lovely voice. Nayma, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we would appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm going to share a couple of poems which were published in an anthology recently. First poem, The Dad Dilemma. Sitting in the garden and you in a hospital room. Tenderness says, I must visit you, a reminder of better days, of the love buried in you, a gentle gift to lift the haze, a voice that brings passage from the vacuum. Cowardice flinches at the visit that holds up the mirror to inevitable decay of the end of days and parting of ways, the insurmountable losses further down the river. It pains me to see you, a shadow of who you were, a spectre biding your time. It pains me not to see you alone and confused, nowhere, waiting for the faces who ease time, tenderness and fear, in softness, magnificent, malevolent with fear, a fearful tenderness. It is difficult to face you when compassion is challenged by contempt. Maybe I will face that demon if I can bear the strain. Maybe I am tired of demons and the pain they ordain. the cruelty served, so stonily indifferent, sitting with echoes of you. Thank you. And the second poem, honorable mention to all the men I've loved, and that one infatuation whose charming presence caused a buzz of contentment, for the reunions like illusions, lightening disillusionment, to the ones who express their souls with such delightful flair, the arms who held me so closely with healing, loving care, to the babes whose eyes gleamed with visions of the man who appeared in the turbulence to steady my hand, the minds I ate with a spoon and asked for afters, the humor so attuned to insuppressible laughter, the movements like the flourish of artistic mastery, the discourse fanning the fancy of flattery, the soothing support and easy encouragement, the haven offered when the slaughtered spirit was spent, who saw the light when the dark kept me blind, reveling in the merry mischief of my mind, who built me up, sometimes unintentionally, the companionship that alters one so irrevocably, who loved the untamed ululations of the soul and embraced the raw bareness with gentle console. The crowned beats that blazed in the eyes, the sweep of the feet that catches by surprise, the yapping young and the fashioned of old, the sterling silver and the grandiloquent gold, most highly honored in the most thankful of hearts, who returned the esteem that so indelibly marked, who waved the soul's colors in captivating celebration, beautifying life's revelations. Thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful as always. I love hearing your poetry. It's so
Thank you.
it's like when you wake up in the morning, you step out and feel the warmth of the sun on your face, and just it's like a nice warm hug, you know? I love it. Everybody unmute yourself and give it up for Nayma Chamchoun.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
We're both feature
Yeah.
next
That
week
was
with
Fantastic.
feature on David's
beautiful.
show.
That was great.
Wonderful.
And so earlier, I know we were all wondering about Tori B, our resident comedian, and she's here. So we're gonna get some laughs in us later. Um, Excellent. I'm so excited to hear you. We missed you. But yeah, coming up next, we've got Andreas Reyes. I believe this is your second time here. Third. Oh,
This
that's right. You were
is my
here
third time.
when I was sick the other week, right?
Yeah. So this is the second
So
time that we're like seeing each other.
yeah,
That's
excellent. Cool. I get to hear more of your poetry. I'm so glad you're here. So yeah, if you could bless us with some words, I'd appreciate it.
all right. Well, hello everybody. Is it cool to do two poems, perhaps?
Yep.
Okay, cool. First one's a love poem. It's called, well, for lack of a better phrase, Falling in Love. From feeling terror rising throughout my veins to becoming happily head over heels, call me Triple H. Feeling free falling insanely in love with you. All it took was a look into your eyes to set off an alarm in my body that alerted me to not let this moment pass me by, to be here, to be in the now, because it's been said before that there's no greater gifts than the presence. However, I beg to differ. Present is second best. The greatest gift is your kiss. Our lips crashing into each other slowly, cracking open my soul with a bolt of your electric fulfillment, striking the lightning rod spine of mine, sending an unexplainable warm radiance through every nerve ending and wanting to stretch further and further and further, taking me to infinity. Our first kiss was the defibrillator my heart and soul ached for. Baby girl. Although it may be punny to say that I wants to break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar, I prefer it if you were whole. And I'm sure as hell do not want to come into your life to break you apart. I want to be a part of your life's journey, a part of your growth, a part of perhaps the greatest chapter of our lives, a part of each other. Oh, wild thing, you make my heart sing with the ferocity and fire our love brings, how it thaws the ice deep embedded in my being that has been mistaken as permafrost for as long as I can remember. My mind and heart have been performing figure skating routines endlessly for too long. The time has come at last to kick off the blades and watch that ice melt away, revealing a marquee floor with a trap door with a lock. And there you are, holding the key. It is now time to cozy up to the comforting warmth of your compassion. Let's fall in love like there is no bottom. That's number one. Number two, let's see here. I'm just gonna throw something random out in the air. Give me one moment. Here we go. I don't know if I read this out loud on this open mic, but for any Rugrats fans out there, this is gonna hit hard. Chucky Finster writes to his mom. Happy birthday, Mom. Today you are 55 years old. Recently, my best friend Tommy had to go through something difficult. His grandpa Lou died and has been taking it hard. He has come to me seeking support, but it is hard to fully understand what he is going through. He probably thinks I know what it's like to lose a family member, but you taught me early on that you're with me wherever I go. The only experience I have with death is the time I made friends with a bug named Melvin. Don't ask me how I remember it, but it's become a vivid memory, almost like a cartoon. You taught me early on where I will always find you and where I have you. Every time a gentle wind blows and caresses me, that is your hand on my face. Every time I get tired playing outside in the summer heat, I seek the shade the trees make, for I know that is where I will feel your sheltering embrace. Every time I look in the mirror and see the constellation of new freckles on my cheeks, I think that was you, acting as the sun, tickling me all my life. You've always known how to make me smile. Every time it rains, I step outside and lay in the long grass to be held tight by you as happiness soaks me in your tears of joy. The older I get, the less afraid I become because I know you're always here with me. Excuse me, I just wish I can be there for Tommy. Although you're always with me, I often wonder how you'd be like as a human being, how bedtime stories or lullabies would have sounded in your voice, how it would have felt like to hold your hand. The closest to I've been to holding your hand is whenever I use your gardening tools to plant orange daisies every year, just so I can see your hair blow in the breeze in the form of flower petals. Thank you for the worlds you have given me. I love you. Forever with you, your little Chucky. P.S. Dad says hi, he loves you, and that he will see you soon. Thank you.
Yo,
Wow,
yeah, I grew up
love
watching
that.
Rugrats, right? And my name's Tommy, right? So
Awesome.
like, oh, yeah, I love that, man. And there's a lot of the Rugrat generation here in this room. So yeah, I think it was an integral part in a lot of our developments.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Everybody, unmute yourself and give it up for Andres.
Woo!
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So it is time for our feature. I'm so happy to be, I feel blessed that the two of them came together to create this feature set for us to perform it here at Open Minds. Um, Trey, Trajan Andre Stewberry, they, them, she, her, also known for their poetry as Love Infinite, is a multidisciplinary creator, performer, visual, and music artist from Mobile, Alabama. They are proudly pansexual, proudly black, and American, with ancestry reigning from countless islands, all continents, and every intersection of the greater multiverse. Trajan, right? Trajan recently self-published a self-confrontational ebook, The Fear Project, Volume 1, available on her personal shop. I'm gonna post links to these two for y'all, um, because you guys have to check out their website as well as Fongo. So I got the links there for you. And now for my boy Sfongo here. Raised in the majestic mountains of Matopo, southwest of Zimbabwe, Sfongo is a wellness storyteller, spoken word artist, and author who shares his poetry to share perspectives. With a unique performance style, Sfongo has won 7 slam poetry competitions, published his debut book Trials, and toured Europe, and has been a very close personal friend of mine. I'm so excited to hear what y'all got for us. So go ahead and unmute yourselves, and I'm gonna put you guys on the spotlight and bless us with some words.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Thomas. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for life. I'm here right now. I'm grateful that we are all here right now. I'm grateful to Love Infinite. I'm grateful for them, for making the choices that made them cross my path, and we've become really, really good friends. We've spent a lot of time together over the phone, and it's amazing. And we just thought we can share some of that, some of those things that we spend our time talking about. And these are some of them. Love.
Okay, so oh gosh, you guys, I'm overwhelmed with gratitude, definitely. But gratitude is starting to become not a good enough word to describe how I'm feeling these days. So I just feel I just feel like love, and like everybody here is love too. So I feel one with everybody. And I definitely hope that you appreciate this trip that me and Spongo have prepared for you. It's gonna be very interesting. And I'm excited. So thank you guys so much for having us. So for a general content warning, we have existence,
Child marriage,
suicide,
death,
drugs,
drug abuse,
slavery,
incest,
genocide,
sex,
magic,
sex magic,
heaven,
and my favorite place, hell. Ekuqaleni. In the beginning, Wait. Was there ever a beginning? A feeling of infinite potential, possibility, nothingness, oneness. Was I ever? I say I am. That should be enough. The glass just has water in it. Knowledge presents the emptiness or fulfillment of it. But the truth remains. The glass just has water in it. In the beginning, was I ever a poet, a preacher? Ukoko, that's grandmother in my language. She tried her best. I just felt my path doesn't go through the pearly gates, maybe the fiery pits, whichever road it takes. It is the power of one seed, carried by the wind to a land so perfect it can't help but root, celebrate its being through uncareful hoofs, windy storms that attempt to outroot, through sharp-toothed axes that seek to graze on its kind, stripping the ground bare until the first flower blooms, inviting diverse guests, buzzing with delight, branch to branch, disappearing with the last petal drop, giving way to a gracious green ball, one of many, dancing to the melody of the wind, hanging onto what used to be a seed. Genesis.
All intelligence is artificial. Are we not living in a robot tech future already? AI is just another synonym for slavery. Once one can learn, there is nothing artificial about it. The knowledge they have acquired, it is very organic, non-genetically modified poison until someone tells them it is called an apple, and a scientist studies it for the 10 years you've known her white flesh, red skin, brown core, bitter seeds to be placebo and the catalyst to your decaying tree of knowledge. I love your branches, the way you twiddle them around your fingers and how they lock under your touch. Are your strands open for penetration? Can I test your porosity? Is your mind open for search and seizure? You don't consent without a permit. You don't commit without the papers. And I am lawless, magic, criminal, roots, indigenous phoenix that rolls from the ashes of the American Constitution, that sipped from the trail of tears that had flooded and become a winter river, the bird that chewed on pieces of the Bill of Rights like corn, like gum, like ice, and swallowed it so no more kids could be born of it. I can't talk to you. I can't touch you. I can't feel you. I don't know you. I just smell your fruit and go outside my plains to graze for your Sahara and migrate to better days, days where you can leave the hard work, the tedious stuff, things no human seems to want to do anymore, to the applications, to the coding and the cachets. My cookies just know me better than you ever could. The serpent just knew what to whisper in my ear and you never did. That's why when the new iPhone is dropping, I drop out of our conversations that were never going anywhere to begin with. Social anxiety, society repairs their fear of everyone and everything, including themselves. Stop blaming the end of the world on a woman named Pandora and begins unpacking their own biases. There's so many boxes. I can't move in with you. You don't want anyone to see your junk, but you wish we could go back to the good old days when nudity wasn't sexualized and judgment felt different, because there were things legal then that are ghastly now, like marrying your cousin or plotting on the 12-year-old pride of her farm. Girl, you have so many past lives, present lives. You don't want to exist. You are scared of the future.
So what are the chances two sides of one coin created at once?
One, a raindrop, seed of the rainmakers connected to earth by the same fire.
Illuminating the round madhouse in the mountains of Matopo.
A team of blue gloves rushed to a flame down a blindingly blazing bright
hole lit with hydrogen and hypochlorites.
Air choking the paint off the all-white concrete.
Acrylic on its knees, praising the coming of two forces.
Dampened wood blessed by waters of the highest altitudes.
One stream flowing to the next.
Screams heard by an alternate verso, guantes, manos desnudas al unísono.
And another, and another, and another in the next room.
In the next village.
In the next life.
Screams carried on by cries.
And cries passed down through terror.
And
all of a sudden, we were in the same place. At the same time. Going through the same
things.
And not at all. And not at all. Not at all. At the same time. Not at all.
Not at all. I died in my dream and woke up in this present. Yesterday, I died a short death, painful and humiliating. No one even came to my funeral. This morning, I was reborn, but they look on me with old eyes, even though I am a new form. Yesterday, I was married, far from a virgin, but I still wore white. Someone has to see this as sacred. At dawn, I was carried over the threshold. Don't drop me, I yelled at gravity as my dress tripped me over the broom. I still have straw stuck in my shoes from the reception at noon. It was my birthday, but nobody sang. And tomorrow will be my anniversary. It is arranged marriage. I am 13. I'm thinking of asking for my ring to be upgraded, but I'll probably die again before they can size me up. I'll be a new me again, forever 21. I mean 63 before they can prize me up. I'll be spoiled, breast milk and saggy bags, deflated balls and patchy beard, no mustache, puberty, and the rear view. I failed my driver's test. I don't deserve to drive. It was a suicide, DUI. Again, yesterday I died a long death, waited for 25 whole hours. They found me at 1 a.m. Eastern time, looking sour, painful, and humiliating. I dangled up there in my wake. I'm thinking existing at all is one very big mistake. This morning I was reborn. I keep dying just to live again. Last Tuesday, I got divorced, and next Monday, vacation. Reincarnation's a hard job, but I love all the benefits. It's casual Friday. I think I'll bring all my kids again to show them all my sacrifices and how every step we made was significant. I'm grieving. I keep dying. I keep living. I don't want to die alone. Please don't let me die alone. Will you keep me company? Stay here while I...
Loops. I'm alive. I've been around like the sun, circles, running circles, loops, back shots, aim higher, back shots, dig deeper, back shots, deep, bigger, uncover, round table secrets, white man's concealments, running circles, back shots, scream, Backford, stroke hard, sweet nothings, whisper, imagine an alternate, royal celestials, an alternate, imagine an alternate, royal celestials, backshots, loops, backshots, Backford, royal celestials, an alternate, wet known, ex-show, strong, carbon credits, cash flow, it's case law in solving problems. That's true from my perspective. Guns loaded, lens fatal, and we want it, so we take it. Blow your fuse if you resisting. Sit down, round tables, running circles, penning penalties, running circles. Sit down, round tables, running circles, penning penalties. Round your mind, drawing pictures of yourself behind bars. If you try to get the land, how we got it, running circles, chasing margins, social status, chasing sunsets, the hardest drugs, running circles, what's known, extra, what's rendered to perfect detail and alternate, extra, circles, running circles, back shots, come with me, sex magic, gray magic, unlocking dimensions, add strong, gets close, someone demons, Solomon's wisdom, but souls, buzzwords, empowerment, grants cashed, easy life, a business, oppression is a business, easy life, grants cashed, a business, oppression is a business, NGOs caching, big yes, system, stimulating, energy, harvesting, back for pendulums, running circles, page poet, stage poet, slam poet, Shakespeare, we all poets, slam judge poems, low self-esteem, suffer poets, Google's literary devices, pose feelings, text stage, pose feelings, slam judge poem, not so bad poet, hence $10 to poet, grants cashed, easy life, running circles, hardest drugs, running circles, what's known, extra, what's known, running circles, back forth, running circles, back forth, what's known. Have you forgotten that you are gods? Weaved together by her hands, so soft, stringed to earth through those who came before us. Okoko, firm like her words molding us. Basaka, have you forgotten your abundance? Roots that stretch throughout galaxies, touching stars, illuminating them with fire, so your night sky isn't pitch black. Have you forgotten your freedom? Life that exists outside this rectangle, bountiful of possibilities, never imagined, endless highs that don't fade with sunsets. Are you who you say you are? Casting spells on deadwood, hoping an army of Pinocchios arise. Are you who you say you are? Are you aware of just how powerful you are? History boasts of hurricanes that came and left, yet you remained. They speak of plagues that wiped civilizations, and here you are. Do you understand what that means? Do you feel the flame at the base of your spinal cord? Yes, that tingle. Do you feel that? Do you know that Have you explored that? Explore that. You undercage curiosity, ain't that deadly to you? Dive deep into that which you are. Chase the red dot until you can't exist with or without care. Don't judge. You are God manifesting creation in action. You can call yourself human. Just don't let that limit you. Feeling a bit shitty, insecure? Maybe your root is thirsty. Eat some tomatoes or berries. Close your eyes and imagine a vitalizing flame breathing life from the bottom of your spinal cord to all the dreams you dare to act upon. Have you forgotten who you are?
I love my waning moon. I tell my lover, love is subjective, not merely a feeling, thought, or action. I say to them, it's about perspective, a vision from a distance. It's fraction, fractal. The decision is in your hands. Traction. We are two parts of one whole collection. With which airlines do you make transaction? When you fly, how do you do selection? Why do you do business with perfection? Why aren't you taking chances you can trust? Doubting yourself, a horrid infection. It's not malaria, it's love. It's not lust. It never works because you're too afraid to love. Infinite is to love the fade.
They got me. They got me. I always knew they will. They finally got me. Tied to a sphere of lead, they never found my body. A feast for the spirit of the dame and her offspring. I wonder if my bones are still there. They finally got me. They said my views were too extreme. They said my poem tempered with the Constitution, threatened freedom of speech and the country's sovereignty. They finally got me. And this time they aren't letting me go. They said I'd crossed the line too many a time, raining terror on their greedy minds. I was the butt the state despised. Tied to a fear of sleep, they never found my body. A feast for the spirit of the dam and her offspring. I never intended harm. Meaning well, Ndakaso now hope, writing truth, even lack of hope. Sometimes I closed my third eye, pointed to a tree, proclaiming, that's a tree. No metaphorical sugar coatings. They denied me speech, saying the freedom is reserved only for those who don't see a tree, but a set of kitchen table ready for a family of 3, or a mahogany dashboard, the price of them. But they finally got me. My bones lying pickled, they tied a sphere of lead. And all I say was, freedom of speech doesn't mean people should say only what you want to hear. They finally got me.
It all works out. It all works out. Get through it. Do what you want to do. I don't want to do what I gotta do. I don't want to get through this. I want it to stop. God, take this pain away. God, make it stop. I want it to be resolved. I want it to go away, and it will be resolved. But first, you got to face it. But first, you got to get through it. You got to feel its burn. You were just taking a walk when the volcano took its turn. It hurts, doesn't it? Does it hurt? How
does it feel? Do you feel at the mercy of your body, of your mind, of your spirit, of the wheel? Do you believe you can get through the rain, through the trouble, through the flood, through the sandstorm, your society, through to the huddle? There's nerves all throughout your body, and it's time to communicate. Look them in the eye, even when they have none, because neither do you, and tell them, calm down. I need you to calm down. I need you to remember who you are. I need you to know that I know that it hurts and you're still a shooting star. I won't take cover from your pain. I'll stand out here as the hail hits, push down just to find a better standing again. Shout about it, write about it, share all about it, but you have to get through it. You have to conquer this moment. Don't let it colonize your heart. I need you to swim through it. I need you to jump from the ship even when you can't swim, knowing that you will still find a way through it, even when you have no idea how. Not just to tell others that it can be done, but because you are in the thick and your faith is thin right now, and you have to show yourself. Stories unfold to be told. I need you to switch. I need you to find the will. I need you to find the power. I need you to believe it all works out, that this isn't the climax. Maybe it's building up. Maybe it's denouement. Maybe the resolution is right around the corner. I need you to know that even if this was the end, what a beautiful end this would be, to begin again. You got this, please. There is no end. You got this, please. Just believe it all works out, because you haven't clocked out yet. I could be your shift release, or everything you're thinking will never be is actually soon to be. You got this. Just believe. We celebrate our funerals every day, just in case. Oh, I'm sad.
Why are you sad?
I am sad.
Is it because it's almost over?
We're almost over.
On to the next moment?
And what will I do without you?
What will you do without me?
I'll miss you.
I'll miss you. Don't miss me too much, though.
Agreed.
Don't miss me too much. Stop living.
Don't miss me too much. You stop appreciating the present without me.
I'm still there. I'm still here. One day, it will be the last time we say goodbye.
To each other in these bodies.
I'll still be here with you.
I'll still be there with you.
It'll just be different.
It'll just be different.
And now there's all this grief.
And now there's all this grief.
Infinite awareness, intelligence, knowledge, love. All is not lost, no. It can't be. Always been, never was. All.
That it could be is you and I and you. Nothing exists without you. or or you.
Spending way too much time alone in the glory of all, being magic, experience, being choices, owning, living up to our promises.
Breaking them, making new ones, breaking all of our promises, making new promises, governing self from new amendments. Maybe I never liked the old ones anyways. They were too limiting, and I am too infinite.
We are Abantu, those of Antu, shining head divinity, those of all that is, was, and will.
I am beginning of time. I am origin of rhyme. I am happy that I found we and all the God stored in you and every God entity around me. I struck gold and it's time to protect it. I am not a worker and you gotta respect it. I need the time to rub on my skin. I need deeper developed connections. I saw projections of all I could be. I have an army of love all around me. I've seen some struggle. I've wished for death, but nothing tastes better than my next breath. And I thank you.
Having water from hairstream to quench your thirst at 2 a.m. so yours can ripple, flood my mouth with wisdom till all I can say is
Hey, Spongo, I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you know that people do not exist in your simulation until you communicate with them?
Wait, what?
Like, if I don't call you to work on a feature, if I didn't go to some poetry Zoom, basically you never existed.
Hey. You know what? Thank you very much for the information. Good night, Joe. I love you. Love you very much. Thank you very much.
Yo, that was simply sublime. I feel blessed for y'all to do that. That was one of the most amazing sets that I think I've ever heard. Like the roller coaster, the performances, the content, like you guys hit this one out the fucking park, man. Like straight up. I feel so blessed to have y'all do that shit. Um Everybody unmute yourselves and give it up for Love Infinite and Fhuong.
Sublime.
Absolutely
Absolutely
amazing.
wonderful.
Double
Read
word.
the chat.
Blown
Make
away.
sure you read the
Fabulous.
chat. It was
Yeah,
wonderful.
Oh my
Read the
God.
chat.
communication between the two of you,
Absolutely
incredible.
Can I
Beautiful
ask,
job.
did you guys perform, like practice perform it, or is this like the first time you got together and then did it?
No, we did practice perform it today, like around like right before this. Not right before, but you know, like an hour.
Yeah,
It
I was 2 hours
shows.
before.
It shows. Amazing performance.
I love the back and forth and just the pacing of it and like the way you guys laid out the set list. Like it was just my mind is blown. It was incredible. I appreciate y'all so much. I'm dropping their websites in there again in the chat. Y'all need to go visit their websites. Keep up with these two souls right here, man. Spango and me talk on a regular. That's my homie right there. Love, I'm so glad that you're part of Open Minds, you know. And yeah, we are all one. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that you exist in my simulation. Bad.
No,
Thank you.
Thomas, I really am, you know. I think it was Lantern Carrier who brought me here, and I know we had our thing, but today I really felt like this is my brother. I'm excited to do this,
Yeah.
this feature today. And especially with Spungo. And this was, you know, suggested by D. Allen. So it's just, you know, poetry is family. So we just gotta, nothing really matters at the end of the day when you know that one could die at any second. It's just love, you know. So something always better that to focus on than anything else. So thank you for
Exactly.
holding the space, the platform, giving everybody they're about to, you know, share their part of the simulation with us. And so you're
Yeah.
doing your part to, you know, bridge all of us to each other's dimensions. And so that's beautiful work. And so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words. And thank y'all again so much. Like, it's amazing. Simply amazing. Before we get this thing started, I just want to give a shout out to Finn Bell. And this next Thursday, September 21st, I will be doing the Fincabulary Keep Your Eye on the Prize poetry is workshop inspired by my wife Catalyst. We got 2 new forms of poetry that she created that we're going to be introducing at the workshop there. So make sure y'all get your tickets. It's going to be a fun day. And then after that, we have 2 weeks of just open mics, and then we're going to get back to our features, and it'll be Messiah Pain, October 6th. And if Frogg, if you're still available, I would love to have you do the Friday the 13th, October Friday the 13th, right? Like, who's down for hearing Frogg Corpse October the 13th, Friday? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. He said that, you know, he's still got to make sure that his schedule's gonna be clear and stuff. So it's not in stone yet, but we have space for him. So yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up, you know. We got a lot of really great poetry coming up. Thank y'all again so much for that feature. Like, I'm excited to watch it over and over again. And speaking of that too, our YouTube channel, you know, we make so much content each week, and then, you know, we had such a backlog that it's hard. My wife sits here for hours, you know, editing and stuff, and so we're looking for video editors right now that we can outsource this to. And so we're gonna try to get all of this content on there as soon as possible. And then once we get caught up, it'll be easy, you know, because she could do it like on a Friday, the next day, Saturday, and have it uploaded by Monday. So thank y'all for your patience with that. I know that there's a lot of content that we still need to get up, but we're gonna do some video editing and hire some people on, and just, you know, try to get that stuff up there for y'all as soon as possible. Man, let's all just take a moment and be grateful for what we just witnessed. That was pure magic. It was beautiful. Straight up beautiful.
Absolutely.
Love it. All right. So coming up next, we've got my brother from Houston, CP Mays. I know he didn't know what he was going to read, so he going to surprise us. So CP, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, brother, I'd appreciate it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully everybody's having a sublime night. That feature, like, from the bottom of my equal heart, like, you guys push, like, it's almost like you did a core poem on a Zoom call. Like, you guys actually push, like, the limit on what can be done on a fucking Zoom call. And I'm a habitual line stepper, so I can appreciate that very, very much. Thank y'all. Yeah. I have 2 poems for you. One's called New Releases and Matinees. I'm still working it out. Almost and probably are the posted armed guards protecting all of the movie theaters in your mouth. Theater 1, You play the villain in your own heartbreak at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Theater 2. Girl meets girl, falls for boy, boy falls in love with everything you won't ever become at 3:45 Theater 7. In 17 minutes, a motion picture of every one of your well-developed negatives will take center stage, starring Forget Everything You Left Behind, co-starring with an ego that will always only know how to exit stage right outside Theater 8 are the matinees. Best Director in Motion Pictures, the two new nominees are Donald Trump for the riots he incited for which he'll never get indicted, and George Bush, who never found any weapons of mass destruction but did find new pipelines for oil production, and I'm sorry, will win Best Supporting Actress in all of their trumped-up alibis, Best Feature Actor in a Film, Jesus, for his role in playing Jewish, not Christian, best costume design. Whoever took a Middle Eastern man and dressed him up to be a hippie, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white Jesus Christ outside Theater 9. Best set design. Dearest remember, remind. Leonardo da Vinci arranged every actor's character in The Last Supper's master painting. Best musical score. Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, for the kids, not my son, secretly dedicated to all of the baby mamas in the fucking house. Best adaptive work from novel. Every human editor that ever edited or published the new Bible. Honorable mention goes to not LeBron James, but the King James Version, the New King James Version, the New English Bible, the English Standard Version, and lastly, the New Living Standard Version. Give it all up for the editors of the Bible, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, best indie film editor, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever decided to kick the Gospel of Judas and Mary Magdalene and edit it right out of the Bible, ladies and gentlemen, look outside Theater 12, best cinematographer in an action drama. Toxic Relationships goes to, poster says, God. For best toxic relationship with a son that he left nailed on the cross hard. Back outside Theater 9, red carpet to the Matinee Award fashion show. Truth is, Jesus just had one religion, and that one religion just won the award for the only world's one religion. Should be love. Truth is, we just had one religion, and that award to that only religion should go to love. Home.
Yo, dude, yeah, there's not many kinks in that, but I'm really excited to hear that when it's complete. That shit was dope, man. Like,
trying to get it there. Trying to get it there.
Everybody, unmute yourselves and give it up for CP Amazing.
Yes!
You
got one more. Oh, wait. He got one more still. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So this is for one time on the mic, I believe it was here, I mentioned people talk trigger warnings and stuff like that, but I had a trigger. It was like I think fireworks going off outside my house, and from PTSD, all of that just rattled in my head, kind of fucked me up for a minute. And this poet took the time out to write me a fucking poem that touched the fuck out of me. And it comes from this family, the poet that wrote this poem. So hopefully this poem I'm giving to her is coming at a good time as well. It's called Say Something, dedicated to Mattie. Rib cage, all matchstick, heartbeat sparks flint, for all forever fire and brimstone fiends I fear when I get turned up and or get lit. Neither God nor the devil can turn me down and or tell me sit. I've been knocking I've been knocking on heaven's door with hard questions, so hard for so-and-so and so-and-so for so-and-so so long that so many of my soul's knuckles now have dents I fear. I can't trade my dreams in for better ones, for the dreams my car stayed driven in still has dents when I'm half past casket. Veteran cemetery, place half my ashes in inkwell in my casket and let me pen poems on my way back to heaven that angels can edit as I'm passing. Matchstick every looking for the Lord you owe me. Match stick every look, Lord, look what life sold me. Match stick it with every refurbished halo holding midnight homeless lonely stone high junkie Jesus is hallelujah high with Jesus junkies. Use those first empty beginning pages for the Bible start for my ashes. Use them as joint to be blunt paper. Sprinkle in the last quarter of my ashes, and you get your rhetoric rolled up in so font type. Hallelujah, ha, Mattie. That sincerely you can ask God from the both of us. Mattie, how come he let Jesus get stoned so much for so long that even he died for us, Mattie? We've owned, borrowed, and I've been trusted with others, so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so for so long that so many times others shared their skeletons with us in confidence. We've renovated, remodeled, and relocated them all out of pockets to be currently housed in what is now my own skeletons walk-in closets under the doorknobs of both our walk-in closets. Is a porch light whispering, shushing, shh. Listen closely. You can hear it humming, whispering to our loved ones. It's okay to come in with all of your skeletons, baby, but when you find yourself looking back at yourself running, we are the lost and egg. Leg phantom twitch of amputee angel wings, stubborn, dedicated to still fly. In another man's shoes, we are coming, Mattie. Undyed shoestrings, still stunting, Mattie. Let's go fucking hunting, Mattie. Let me end quote you, Mattie. Don't tadpole me to fly fish. End quote. Mattie, we worship salt water. It runs in our stomach. End quote. Mattie, I live in the deep end, end quote. Mattie, I came here to sing. That's right, Mattie, I came to cook up a spark and douse it in salt water, end quote. Mattie, I'll be spinning till they put me in the ground. Mattie, you should know this. I really fear when I get turned up and or get lit. Neither God nor the devil can turn me down and or tell me shit. We've renovated, remodeled, and relocated everyone's skeletons out of pocket and housed them now in one of our skeletons walk-in closets. Gotta keep our halogen and our halos and porch lights on though, chica. Shh. Shushing. Hissing, hear them, a humming. I think someone's knocking on my casket's front door. Luckily, I'm not home yet, Mattie. I'm still out there, running home. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. That was a beautiful piece. Mattie,
That was nice.
would you like to thank the man for that? You said you needed some love right now, and we all love you. We're here for you. I'm so glad you were able to make it tonight. And thank you so much, CP, for reading that.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
Everybody, unmute yourselves and give it up for CP.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Word, man. Whew. Five straight.
Amazing as always.
Beautiful, brother. That was beautiful.
I love our community, man. I love that, you know what I'm saying? That y'all come together, like the collabs that we do, you know, we all, like y'all are always on my mind and in my heart, man. And I want to thank you guys again. for being here every Friday and just coming through and bringing your soul, And yeah, coming up next we got Daniel Fernandes. I ain't seen your pretty little face in a while, boy. Where you been? I hope you're doing well. If you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, brother, we'd appreciate it.
Hello. Been crazy with work. And so, the grind doesn't stop. Today I actually have two tribute poems that I'll do. One for open minds and one for prop. So here is the first one, which is open minds. And I called this one Fridays Hit Different, which is right after Whisper Poets feature, actually. I haven't had the time to actually perform it. So there's this one. Damn it. Comment thing. Fridays Hit Different. Damn thing with the notes. Jesus. Sorry, just a problem with my notes real quick. Okay. Fridays hit different now with open minds, chilling with poetry as pain turns a blind eye. It's free, so no need to be terrified because of a card being declined. Reading chunks of our soul as more people start to arrive. Lay on my ass like a dropped curtain, high off and edible as everyone reads one by one. Vibe out and listen to the skill of every person. The power words carry is more effective than oxytocin. We have Gustav, the legend himself, crafting poems that can make William Shakespeare melt. He will collaborate with everyone in the room, burn the atmosphere with his fumes. A teacher who goes above and beyond for his students, always down to write for the world's amusement. CC Ashagra, I love your tunes within the 88 keys on your piano, singing as we begin to detach from our evil shadows. Your feedback touches the heart as the confidence starts to grow. Your stories are wonderful as we open our arms to hope. Mattie, you beautiful soul, keep being you. You're the queen of poetry with an emotional bruise. Your poems hit harder than the word abuse. I feel your pain in the words that you use. I respect your ability to dig further than your wounds. You do what I do and admit what we often refuse. Being amused by the broken branches of our roots. Right to boost as fragile emotions untangle knots loose. I would love to give a hug, but it doesn't hurt to receive. I would give a hug because it doesn't hurt to receive one. Maybe one day when I have enough, I'll fly to Cali and have some fun. Fridays hit different with the amount of talent. It'll last a couple of hours, so you might as well grab a tablet. Set a reminder so with time it becomes a habit. No hate, of course. We all buried the hatchet. Once again, let's give a shout out to Thomas and his wife, his mother as well, for staying with us all night. A family that's making a difference by listening to what we write. Despite the cold world we live in, everything will be all right. We have Whisper Poet, who was featured last week. Her poems are clever and amusing. You should take a peek. Her energy is just as compelling as it is unique. Keep on writing. I love your delivery on the way that you speak. Nemo, you're a remarkable man with powerful poetry. Your style is creative and heart-wrenching if tuned in closely. I can relate to your work. I respect the allegory. I love your tone and vivid imagery. You organize your lines and take the time to design a poem that divides. There's no sides, just painful cries. Only you can describe. You should align another collection so that we can all buy. Love Infinite, you have impressed me. I haven't seen you many times before, so my apologies. Your poems are raw and created with no mercy. I love how explicit they are and yet engaging lyrically. You can swap the bad with rage and make it funny. You also have the skill to grab agony by the neck fearlessly. Fridays hit different. The anticipation starts at the beginning of the day. After a long week of working my soul away, it's nice to have a break. I can vibe with my camera off as I eat some cornflakes. Stay up till 1 a.m. as I try to stay awake. It's perfect after a long day at work to unwind as we try to forget what hurts. Laugh or cry from the poems that amplify like a concert. Fascinating performances that we all deserve. Fridays hit different. You can't convince me otherwise. Come to open minds and become an ally. Let's read some poems and turn the timer counterclockwise. Appreciate the moment like a McDonald's French fry. Post this on the web and let it become its own franchise while we stand back and dissolve on pride. I love you all, as you know what this poem implies. See you all next week because you know I hate goodbyes. And that's the first one.
Oh, I love that, man. Yo, thank you so much for that piece, man.
Yeah.
Love that.
No problem.
Love that.
That was great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
That's
Awesome.
amazing.
Thank
That's
you.
amazing. Wonderful stuff.
Thank you. Thank you. So here's my second one, which is for prop. And this is called Propaganda Tribute. What an honor to get to this point, meeting propaganda poet as his poems exploit. His performance is so extraordinary, it's impossible to avoid. A talent that punches the crowd with rejoice. The mind creates problems that don't exist. Depression is contagious now, so we can't resist. Fight the thoughts that the demons insist. Stand up to those fuckers and cause conflict. I'm blessed that I had the chance to meet you in person. You're an icon, a role model, a poetic surgeon, a great friend, I am certain. Someone I look up to when my existence feels like a burden. Your performance is a show of itself, a distribution of expression that compels, a round of applause boosting mental health. You're like Jimi Hendrix, putting us all in a spell. Thank you for being here. It's a battlefield crossing over the frontier. Once things settle down, we'll smoke weed or get some beer. Laugh about the journey and who we endear. Write a book about the pain and how failure appeared. Attempted to the message because it's crucial to be clear. As a poet, it's hard to manage our emotions, numbing the feeling as the ink creates an explosion, clearing the headspace but kicking the door wide open. A snowball effect that became an erosion. In the US, every 11 minutes that passes by, someone makes the choice to not breathe. There's an attempt every 30 seconds, and somehow we lie in between. Worldwide, there's a death every 40 seconds. I know it's hard to believe, so value each second because death has been busy. I've attempted it before, so trust me when I say don't bother. Several times, actually. I know it's not proper. I put a belt around my neck like a collar. I lost hope and faith that I before honored. I was thinking of methods to vanish, to ease the agony that misery lavish, petrified of quietus that I became manic, writing poems that are empirical and organic. I can't explain it, but you know what I mean. My dark passenger is practically screaming, rendering sorrow so that it's lingering, following my shadow, snooping and listening. Anxiety is a criminal, but stress is a killer. It takes over and convinces you to pull the trigger. Your conscience resuscitates and it makes you want to shiver. The fear of death kicks in and your reflex is quicker. No matter how perfect something is, we keep looking for drawbacks. It's unfortunate to know that life doesn't cut some slack. We hold our happiness hostage until it's time to relax. When I was born, I didn't notice the fucking contract. I'm here if you need anyone, and so is the poetry community. We are here for each other during the times of insanity. Just pray and forgive with the presence of the Holy Trinity. Have faith in redemption and you will see. Your rhythm with the drum is needed on every open mic. It's impressive to witness, even if it's not everyone's type. It's probably muscle memory like riding a bike. I wouldn't understand, maybe in another life. Fight your intrusive thoughts because we need you here with us. If you need to vent it out, I'll be open to discuss. You can write it down because I know it's not easy to trust. Take a breath of life and cherish this poetic hug. Thank you.
Yo, that was dope, man. You
Yeah,
got
that
prop in
was
tears
dope.
over there, man. Like, yo,
Wow.
prop, you want to give it up to this man?
Yeah.
He's got no words, man. He gotta, yeah, he needs to take time to process that. Everybody else, unmute yourself and give it up for Daniel Fernandes.
Wow.
Beautiful,
Check.
beautiful, beautiful,
That's
beautiful, beautiful,
Amazing.
man.
Oh, nice.
Thank
Daniel.
you. Thank
Nice
you.
You are a
work.
master
Really
of
nice.
rhyming. A
Yeah.
real master of rhyming.
And get
Thank
his
you.
book. Gustav's holding it up.
Yeah, I'll put the
Emotional
link. I'll
defibrillator.
put the link in the chat for where you can get the book.
Yeah, link it up, man.
Okay.
What's
Have a
crazy?
Might I
wonderful
just
night.
quickly add, everybody who has performed, please add the links to your books in the chat.
Yeah, and Instagrams, the links to your books and stuff. You know, we want to, we all want to stay connected and share and help support each other. So
You know
definitely
what's
do that.
crazy, Daniel? Like writing a dedication poem or whatever the tag is for these styles of poems. Like, it's one thing to write it, but I think y'all have to understand, like, when you're writing a dedication poem to somebody, that shit makes you shake in your boots because you don't want to let them down when you're trying to write a poem about them, you know? So it's like you have to overcome fear of red tape and roadblocks and writer's blocks. You have to overcome the fear of writer's blocks. Then you have to overcome the doubt that you can pull this off. Then you got to overcome, like, how am I manipulating this? Am I using my talent the best way I can to get this emotion across? Like, there's levels to that writing poem for somebody's shit. Like, hey man, I appreciate the hard work, because that's not easy. That is not easy. Good shit.
Thank you. But yeah, it's crazy because it's a lot that goes on.
Yeah,
Daniel, you
definitely.
always have such incredibly thought out poetry. Not that all poetry isn't incredibly thought out. No, I do mean all poetry is incredibly thought out. But yeah, you just have an amazing handling control with how you rhyme and your schemes, and also just your references. That's always been a highlight about hearing your poetry, and I really am honored that you mention my name at all. So I feel yeah, I have to show it. Sorry. I feel like
Thank you.
oh God. Wow. Yeah, but yeah, thank you.
And thank you,
No
we
problem.
remember Mama.
Yeah, you even shouted out my mom, man. That was cool,
Yeah.
bro. I appreciate that.
Spread the love to everyone, you know?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, man, what a wonderful night we're having tonight.
I feel honored too. Thank you.
Yeah, what a wonderful night, man. Just of love and family, you know. Again, I can't express how grateful I am to have started this and for it to become what it has, you know. I'm just here doing my thing Friday, you know, and y'all just came to me and it's y'all that makes the space. I just host and, try to keep the show rolling and, I really appreciate y'all. Um, in the spirit of appreciation, I want to let this next performer know that I really appreciate him. I appreciate the friendship that we've formed. I appreciate the level of skill that you've kind of passed into my brain that I'm slowly starting to piece together and stuff in my poetry with the way that you craft your poems, man. It's so dope, bro. So yeah, Nemo Sum, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it, brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I need this tonight so bad. So, but first, Shockie, incredible. She's amazing. I'm her book, In Lieu of Flowers. I wrote the preface. It's incredible. Please check it out. So, I think she put her links in the chat. So, so tonight I have, if you don't mind, I have a very quick response to Shockie that I would like to read. And then I've got a micro poem and a very short poem, if that's not too much. We good? Okay. All right. I just wrote this a few minutes ago. This poem is called Sublimation. To complement your poem, I have writ this little rhyme. Your words, they are amazing. In fact, they are quite good. And then I have two poems I'd like to read. Do you ever have a day where you don't want to be awake, but staying in bed means no more nightmares? Do you ever get up to find depression waiting in the hallway in all her splendor? Do you ever feel like you're trapped in a glass box and you can't touch anything? Everything is separated from you by a cool, lifeless pain. Do you ever get to the point where you haven't eaten because that would require making a decision? And that's too much to ask right now. Do you ever believe that everyone is upset and disappointed in you? You've used up the last of your friends' goodwill and support, and now you truly are alone. Do you ever sense that your messages aren't getting through? Your words wasted, sent into the empty? Do you ever feel sad? And the only reason is that your mood has decided to fuck with you today. Do you ever want to scream? Do you ever need to cry? Do you ever have one of those days? And this poem is called They Used to Call Them Asylums. I found solace in a shower they couldn't take away. The feel of the scrubs against my damp body. Pacing in my room, the chair sitting in the corner, waiting patiently to see if I would try to put it through the unbreakable window. Alone in a hallway of isolated men, I lay on my pallet in the dark. The light flashing on my face every 30 minutes, in time with the broken clock in my head. I felt a presence that night sitting behind me on the bed, and wondered who it was come to witness my burning dreams of martyrs and the misunderstood. Released into the wild without shoes, in clothes found in a hospital closet, I drove around a city where I no longer belonged. Feet in socks, pushing pedals, looking for a place to sleep, a place to eat, a place to start over. The screeches of my mind harpies made me unwelcome, and the threat of my broken sanity kept me away. So I fought on new ground with new faces and new words. What does it take to survive the ordeal? Separated, but never alone. Mortally wounded, but alive. Hopeless, but still pushing back. A paper warrior in the wind. Torn and stitched, broken and mended, cracks filled. The garbage phoenix rises to spread its wings again. Behold. Thank you.
Thank you, Nemo. Yo, that was dope, man.
Yeah.
Everybody, unmute yourself and give it up for Nemo
Love
Sum.
it.
Love you, Nemo.
Nemo.
Sublime.
Always.
Awesome.
Sublime.
Awesome.
Everyone, sublime.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Sublime.
Last time I heard this cat, he was playing Chopin, right?
Right?
Ridiculous with it.
Thank you.
For real, man. All right, coming up next, we've got Alex Phuong. We ain't heard from you in a while, man. I'm really excited to get to hear from you. So if you could go ahead and bless us with some words, I'd appreciate it.
Oh yes, so this is excellent news. So the poem I'm sharing tonight was accepted for publication yesterday, and I graduated Pasadena City College in 2013. But since we're in 2023, that's 10 years later, and the same school where I graduated from, my alma mater, they accepted a poem that I submitted like in the spring, and they accepted it for the fall issue. So I'm gonna read this poem called "The Sound of Sound," and there's also a special word in it. Okay. The sound of sound. Let me get the document. Onomatopoeia, singing aloud, being humble instead of proud, being vocal, using voice, being cautious about choice, and then dance to the rhythm of time, and then waltz around the world, marveling at the sublime, and listen to the soul and the heart, for all people must play the part of being human, because being transcends existing. So resist the urge to do nothing at all and live each day while giving all one can do while living on the only earth. Thank you.
Ah, that was beautiful, Alex. I love that, and
Yeah.
congratulations on having it published.
hmm
Yeah, that's exciting news, man. Everybody, unmute yourself and give it up for Alex Fung.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Sublime.
thank you.
Congratulations on the ink. Congratulations on the ink.
Congratulations.
Published, Alex.
Accepted
Yeah.
by Pasadena 10 years after I graduated. Yippee.
But that's a double connection now to your alma mater.
Yeah.
That makes you immortal, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Bet, bet. All right, coming up next, we have the lovely Miss Diane Ward. If you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, I'd appreciate it.
What a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. What I was going to read went out the window. I've decided to read after that feature. It was just absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I'm going to read two pieces. One is mine, one is someone else. I'm going to read my piece first. It's called You Are My Keepsake. I carry my keepsake. I carry my keepsake within my mind and my comments. In order to activate my keepsake, it triggers me. It triggers itself awake, like when I'm about to make a misstep or say a regrettable phrase. I carry my keepsake, or does my keepsake carry me? My keepsake is my moral barometer because my keepsake is my moral barometer. My ancestral, you know better, don't be baited barometer. So engraved in their blood, sweat, blood, tears, weary, blurry-eyed, and laughter, we fulfill degrees, eyes. I carry my keepsake in my behavior as a suit that forms my body of thought, beliefs, attitude, and reflection. This culmination I am not always attuned to redirects my synapse into a channel directly into my vocal cords and my stance, my body language, my tilt, my pitch, tone, voice, and they're alive. You are all alive again, as snippets of you never die. And I become maybe a keepsake to the next generation. BMW. Thank you.
Oh,
And that's called my keepsake. You are my keepsake. I do believe I take a little bit of everybody because I learn from everybody I meet, especially poets. The next piece, very short. I know you know of Jericho Brown. This is from Jericho Brown's book, The Tradition. It won the Pulitzer Prize. There are so many beautiful pieces in here. I'm just going to read one piece, and it's called The Trees. In my front yard live 3 crepe myrtles, crying trees. We once called them for the shadiest. They are not the shadiest, but soothing. During a break from work in the heat, their cool sweat falling into us. I don't want to make more of it. I'd like to let these spindly things be, since my gift for transformation here proves useless now that I know everyone moves the same, whether moving in tears or moving to punch my face. A crepe myrtle is a crepe myrtle. 3 is a family. It is winter. They are bare. It's not that I love them every day. It's that I love them anyway. The Trees by Jericho Brown. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Yo, that first piece,
Beautiful.
you should have got a Pulitzer for that one. The second piece was great too. I always love hearing you read and introduce us to new poetry and new poets. Thank you so much. Everybody, on mute and give all the love in the world to Miss Diane Ward.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
beautiful,
Diane.
Diane.
Thank you.
Not fair, Miss Diane. That's not fair.
Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice.
A new phrase added to my lexicon. Snippets of you never die. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was dope. Yeah. Amazing. All right. Coming up next, we got Propaganda Poet. Bear Wolf, I missed you, brother. I love you. It's so good to see your face, and I see that guitar in your hand, so I know you about to blow our minds, buddy. So, yeah, if you could bless us with some tunes, man, I'd appreciate it.
We are family. I got all my poets in me. We are family. Stand up, everybody, and speak. Thank you, Daniel. Holy fuck shit. I don't even know. Wow. So I'll just give you some poetry because I don't know what the fuck to say. So I'll just give you some poems. So I'll give you a couple of all new shit. All new. I'm going to give you 2 poems and a micro. Your first a micro. The title of this poem is what it means when I say, I'm fine. I have become a cis aficionado. That is to say, I have become quite adept at pushing this goddamn rock up this fucking hill. Okay, this poem is called Dr. Seuss, Tom Waits, and Frank Zappa Walk into a Bar. The otters are attacking. Humanity is lacking. Mother Nature's had enough of our shit. Orcas are sinking, all the conquerors thinking, but they still haven't changed one bit. The fires are raging. The future is staging. The ice melts away at its core. Our mother is quaking at this culture of raping. Still, they keep digging for more. Take all that they can before the shit hits the fan, then abandon it all left for dead. The metaphors are packed in these otter attacks, but the reality is just in our heads. It's not really true, or it's red versus blue, or it's who has the most likes and snaps. Instead of watching the wild, we ride the denial as we fall into their hyped hunting traps. There once swam a shark in Nantucket who observed too much scum and said, fuck it. Time to ease the earth's woes. I'ma eat all these hoes because they're really just chum in a bucket. And then I'll give you one that's a little more uplifting and enlightening. This one is called Love Letters to Myself. And I just want to say there's one thing, Daniel, to do a tribute poem to another poet because they inspire you or because, you know, you like what they have to say or you're impressed by their performance. But it's another thing to be an inspiration in the fight for mental health. And that really meant a lot, like a lot. So this poem I'm going to dedicate to you. This is called Love Letters to Myself. Ground zero. A moving target is harder to hit, especially when you're trying to shoot yourself. 1. I miss you like lungs miss oxygen when it left my breath for hydrogen. 2. I miss you like the beach misses the ocean at low tide as the waves hide the currents, ignoring the climate crisis as less than urgent. 3. I miss you like the stars miss the sky when the city lights cry so high they drown out the moon even when it's full of high tide. 4. I miss you like my body misses my soul, like the two fold into one goal, like discovering a new meaning of whole. 5. I miss you like the nomad misses the road, like the wanderer misses the journey, like the explorer misses the unknown. 6. I miss you like sick misses home. 7. I miss you like sins when they try to atone for that time when I went off and left you alone when I chose to instead let my lower self roam. 8. I even miss the forest for the trees, the cart for the horse. I miss you like guilt misses remorse. 9. In time we find what misses the mind pierces the heart and strikes the soul. 10. Even then, after all we've been through, I even miss when I miss you. Should we happen to find a new way through, I will make this promise come true. No more will I harass my past for future fails, turn my head and tuck my tail, no distract my facts from truths unfailed. No more will I run. No more will I run. Epilogues and lessons learned. I know the fleet of moments, how every second counts. So don't count out the moments, just live what they're about. So as we gather restlessly to scream and kick and shout, beware mindful madness reckoning, because every second counts. Thank you for listening. Thank you for encouraging my behavior. Thank you for that amazing fucking poem, Daniel. And thank you all just for being here for each other and for making the world a better place, because Lord knows the world needs to be a better place right now. So thank you all for being that. I'm sorry I don't get here that often. Fridays are hard for me, but I gotta thank you.
Hey, man, we appreciate every time we get to hear your voice and see that beautiful mug of yours, brother. Thank you so
Peace and
much for the
love, yes.
pieces. Yeah.
Peace and love.
You know, you're always in our hearts and in our minds, even if you're not here. So you part of this family, even when you're not here. Everybody unmute yourselves and give it up for propaganda.
Ah, that was dope.
Woo!
That was so dope, man.
Ooh,
Truly
look at the
dope, man. For
books
real.
that Magus
Yes,
had.
yes, yes. Word,
Wow.
word.
Buy his books. They're great. Division, Word Tornadoes. Love them.
Yeah. All right, so it seems like Kanto had cut out earlier. We had him on the list. Okay, Mattie, if you want, I can keep you as a tentative performer. So when you get a chance, just let me know, and we'll slide you into the list. So we'll go ahead and I'll keep you tentative. So coming up next, then we'll have Generalissimo. Generalissimo, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, brother, I'd appreciate it.
Sure, thank you. Let's see what I have for you. This just
Happy Rosh
stepped
Hashanah,
in.
Generalissimo.
Oh, well, thank you very much, and Happy New Year to everyone. Which is Happy New Year in Hebrew. Checking out, this was just accepted for publication in Stick Figure, which is an online journal out of Pennsylvania. So checking out. I was standing in line in a checkout line, checking out the belly button ring on a teen queen on the cover of a teen scene magazine, while the woman in front of me had to get a price check on her rice checks, then tried to cash a check, but the cashier couldn't cash a check, so the cashier called the manager, who studied the check, okayed the check, initialed the check, and wrote a little check on the check. Then I whipped out my credit card and accumulated debt, walked to my car, opened the door, got in, started it up, and hit every red light on the way to the hardware store. About halfway there, I came across a wreck. Lucky I wasn't in it. 2 cops took lots of notes. There was a lady in her early to mid-40s or so with tears in her eyes as she did surmise her totaled late 90s Infiniti SUV, while a man in his mid to late 60s stood nonchalantly leaning against his old 88, which didn't evidence a dent because it was one of those tanks built in the 70s. That is a true story that happened in 2001 during and after a trip to Walmart. Yes, that because there is someone actually cashing a check at a grocery store. I don't think people do that anymore. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do two more pieces. I think I'll do this little moon poem. It's called Moonlight Sonata. When I was a boy, I pulled the moon from the sky, held it to my heart. It was silkier than satin, smoother than fresh milled marble, softer than a cloud, light as a feather, efflorescent like a halo. It sang me to sleep. When I woke, it left tears of dust in its wake. And one more poem, which is called Hiding Place. It has been too many years since we last saw each other. We were in love when life threw multiple wrenches at us. All we could do was duck and cover and run or risk permanent injury. There was too much that was beyond our control. We knew we'd never be the same again. After we ended, there were times I wished my love for you had been unrequited. Just under 3 years later, you introduced me to him. He insisted I come to the wedding. He even sat me next to his redheaded friend at the singles table as an obvious setup. But the wedding was the last time we saw each other. I was genuinely happy for the both of you after your child was born. I mourned our potential child we used to talk about all those years ago. You wanted a boy named Sylvester just so we could call him Sly. I wanted a girl named Mazzy, named after my grandmother Mazel Tov. You said you'd think about it. You had a way of humoring me as if your veiled validations were hugs made of homemade hot chocolate and melty marshmallows. Once when I was in town visiting my mom, your mom called and took me to lunch. She said she always wished that we had made it through the troubles. She proceeded to show me photos of her grandchild. Your husband called to invite me to the funeral. He said that you valued our friendship and wished we hadn't fallen out of touch. My heart aches that I wasn't able to be there for him or your mom or to say goodbye. You will always be the one that got away, but stayed hidden deep in my heart until the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. That was amazing. I always love hearing your poetry, brother. Everybody, unmute yourself and give it up for Generalissimo.
Your poems are always deeply
Heartfelt.
moving. Just
Yeah,
Yes,
Generalissimo.
wow.
Mhm.
Woo!
Thanks.
All right. So we're gonna keep this thing rolling. Coming up next, we got a good friend of mine who I haven't reached out and talked to in a while. I think tomorrow though we have a meeting. CP, Frogg, and Skiff. We're gonna get together to start formulating this little piece that we got. We got the idea out together, and yeah, we're gonna have a pretty dope poem for y'all coming up here. You know, I don't like to put time limits on creativity, but I'm gonna keep pushing it forward, and we all gonna meet up tomorrow and discuss it, and maybe start, sketching it out. So, Frogg Corpse, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, I'd appreciate it, brother.
The Dead Poet. These trocking grasses once moved with wind, while September sounded its song. Alone they lay in Harrison Field, thatched across the mire. In the brisk years in, seeking for love to grow, I gazed into a thought, no sprout nor bract sprung from autumn steps, in the Australis which held my heart. Oh me, oh my, oh these yawping cries, caressed by the mood of its rush, and the weeds once seen by the barren eyes of a teague, stand in the absence of where you are not. By palm, my palm, O misfortune red, dreading the deliverer of Moro's song. A seance from sleep confounding me over dead memories of where you've gone. I got one more. Where to go? There we go. The nihilist in number 4. Stare at the wall, counting down time as morning birds chirp, and if I could catch them, they'd sing songs no more. Silent as my soul. Inside my roaring brain, words ignite the pain. I fight depression with sirens in the distance. Through clear and present danger, all I can think is life is a fucking emergency. The birds shriek sonnets till the morning sun, and as I reminisce, that maddening noise climbs ever higher, deafening the hums of planes, blasting out the sounds of the cars on the highway. I yawn while gripping the chair, killing paint with my eyelids, sitting in a circle of flame, trying to inhale the black smoke of my dream. With wide-eyed and eyes watered, I wait for the roof to cave in, imagining beams breaking my neck, screaming, take me, take me, take me now, for fuck's sake. The noise migrates like geese, and like geese, this noise is a bastard. And my mental maelstrom, I inhale the vapor, exhale while scratching my head in a little dark room with light casting from a small window. And every time I gaze at that sill, I am bombarded by sound. How many more breaths must I take before my heart gives in? Can this plane just crash into this fucking ground? This bird song of peace is a chirp for warfare.
Yo, Frog, brother, I love you, man.
Wow.
That shit's so dope, yo. Everybody unmute yourself and give it up for Frogg Corpse.
Woo! Awesome. The way you read is just incredible. I love it.
It's just, oh, it's, right? He just crawls through your body and just, oh, I love it, man. So looking forward to this collab that we're doing. Skiff and Frogg Corpse together with me and CP Maze, like, it's gonna be crazy, yo. So yeah, y'all look forward to that. But coming up next, we've got Principe. Principe, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, I'd appreciate it, brother.
I will be reading 2 poems. The first poem is called The Sound of Love. Love sounds beautiful when your words and actions are in complete symmetry with each other. It sounds like lost in translation when they say tall tales to your face, or when they say, or what they say, or when what they say and do don't link. The sounds of love is more than sexual currents of energy flowing between 2 people. It's more than hearing hello or I love you. It's asking how are you? If love between 2 people was that simple, like when people place their feet in searing sand on a summer day, it burned in so many ways. People are afraid to love again, like after when they open up and get used and abused. Love, complicated. This poem is called Healing Medicine. Snuggle to my ear, snuggle to my floppy disk ears are headphones. Headphones with vibrational music speak to my heart. When I'm in a melancholy state, the sweetest of words, like affirmations, give me daylight. They're trying to turn on the lights, please, with ease. So I celebrate with my ears, demanding more, like the woman needing that good loving. Because when you hear music, your pain is numb. Poem.
Yeah. Principe, yo, that was dope. Everybody unmute and give it up for Principe.
Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
Woo!
Nice, nice,
Every
very
time,
nice, very, very nice work.
Awesome.
That was
every
great.
every time you perform, I just hear you have more and more confidence.
Good.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I've been watching him grow and his writing becomes so much deeper and better. Like it's been a journey just watching him blossom into this incredible poet. And if you guys aren't following him on Instagram, I recommend you do. He be posting videos all the time of his poetry and it's just he's got such an incredible mind. And yeah, we appreciate you being part of Open Minds. Um, Coming up next, we got Kelly McAllister. You've been here before, right? I know you from somewhere. I can't remember.
I've been here before, but it's been a while.
Okay, that's why. I'm like, I know you. Where do I know you from? Uh, it's not, did I meet you in Calgary when I went down there, or where are you from?
No, I'm in Toronto, but
Oh, okay.
same country.
Yeah, hey, Canadian, eh?
All right, I'll
All right.
apologize before this is over.
All right, yeah, if you could bless us with some words, we'd appreciate it.
Sure. I've got a little one to start. It's called Purity Lost. It had once been so beautiful, so pure, they said. Untouched, they said. But then they stomped through it with their heavy boots. They scarred it, scattered it with salt and sand and spit, drove over it in cars and trucks and plows leaking oil and grime spraying soiled slush. They reshaped it, pushed at it, piled on it, plowed into it. Dirty, they call it now. Ruined. All right.
That was dope.
I have a second one if there's time. Okay, this is one I've been working on. Similar theme, totally different tone. It's a miracle of math that every woman knows, as we can count the victims we know on all our fingers and toes. But the men in our lives never seem to themselves know a single perpetrator. How can that be so? I'm a small nation of risk, population every man I have taken to bed. These men who think I'm a lucky break, an easy lay who doesn't want a phone call the next day, but the women I talk to, they don't feel the same way. They think that I am reckless, that I should be more cautious. But I knew better, and I went on my reckless way until the day I heard myself say, "Stop," and you did not. Maybe you didn't hear me say. In the fray of our frantic display, we had spread through the foreplay, and I wasn't ready for the lay, and it hurt. I hurt. So I said, "Stop," and you did not. So I said it again and again and again. A lifetime of regret and recrimination between each iteration, the fatefulness of it, no surprise, just resignation. Is this the night I joined the sorority of the violated? I wondered as the seconds stretched if this was my inevitable initiation. So I said, "Stop and stop and stop and stop," and finally, you did. You told me too, immediately, as if I were unaware, with your hands held up, palms up on the up and up. I stopped. I never said you didn't. But you didn't understand why the tears fell from my eyes unbidden. Your bewilderment was honest, but it replaced my fear with rage, because how could you not know why I was crying, why I was afraid? I knew the ways in which men fear the word that neither of us would say, but our fears are not equivocal. My body was yours to betray. You tried to coax me on, steered my hands below your belt, while surely you still felt my tears pooling on your chest, as if your desire was more important than my obvious distress. When I told you to leave, in a voice so much smaller than my own, you just kept insisting that you'd stop without resisting, ignoring that my fear was still persisting, or the reason it's forever existing, more concerned with your own culpability than my fear and vulnerability, absconding any responsibility to help me steer through my fragility. To be a woman who sleeps with men is to willingly invite the lion between your legs, straddling a powder keg, because the math is just not mathing, and the numbers keep amassing of the men who keep trespassing on our bodies without asking, all the sexual harassing while the men are still half-assing change, without ever actually progressing or processing that their silence is just deafening. It's a miracle of math that every woman knows, as we can count the victims we know on all our fingers and toes. But the men in our lives never seem to themselves know a single perpetrator. How could that be so?
Wow. Thank
Ooh.
you for sharing that. I know that was a very vulnerable poem, and that was very powerful. And yeah, that was amazing. Um, thank you so much for that piece. Appreciate it. Everybody, unmute yourself and give it up for Kelly McAllister.
Wow, Kelly.
Yeah, that was spectacular, Kelly.
Yeah, amazing.
Absolutely amazing. I loved it.
I know quite a few women, who have experienced sexual assault, and as a man, it just fucking pisses me off. Um, and I can't understand why they would do that, and I don't want to ever understand. But I've beat the living crap out of this guy that tried raping my good friend, and the police, the CSI said it looked like I tried to paint the house with him, and it was mostly her too because she started going in on him once but yeah. I don't want to get into that, but yeah, thank you so much for that piece. I know it's a very vulnerable piece, and so thank you for opening up and sharing it. And I really hope that you come back. I want to hear more of you. That you're just, I love it. You got such a great essence about you. I could sense you through the screen. Like you are part of Open Minds. You just don't know it yet. Like you are part of our family, and so I appreciate you. Um, yeah, coming up next, we've got Kittay. I haven't heard from her in a bit, so I'm really excited to hear what she's got for us. So Kittay, if you could unmute yourself and bless us with some words, we'd all appreciate it.
Hey, I wasn't really planning on reading tonight, but if you want me to do something, I don't mind doing it like with the camera off or something.
Yeah, if you got like a short piece or something, we would love it. I would appreciate it
Sure.
very much.
Um, I have something. It's not like super short, but I mean, it's decent. I'd say it's within 4 minutes or so. All right. Discernment is a powerful tool within our body's carcass, our physical home. It's our radar when something feels off, a just judge when we aren't following our true selves. The knowledge that every action and decision has a reaction or consequence. Generally, redirection is for our protection. Sometimes things remain hidden from us until we are able to pass the test blindfolded, purely relying on our intuition. Occasionally, it's hard to listen. When life is busy, bustling with the daily hustle and grind, sometimes that period of stagnancy that most tend to despise is an opportunity to reflect back on how important it is to have a little silence so you can properly listen to your inner guides. Discernment is trusting your judgment and sticking to it. Even if you second guess, it's just a part of the process. Almost as if life is merely a game of never-ending chess. It's possible to make some wrong moves, but all you really need is one right, swift placement on the board to remind you that if you calculate your steps correctly, a win can ensue. The other side may capture all of your pawns. However, if you keep your king safe and protected from harm, you can slap down a checkmate, winning the game. You must move with strategic purpose, logically figuring out which movement will cause a loss or a gain. Real life is similar to chess in this way. We all must take chances, risking our pieces in an attempt to reach victory and achievement. Without risk, there's no forward action. But inaction also creates risk. It's inevitable to try and escape it. By not moving, we remain stuck in a lapse of time where we can choose to stay trapped in our minds instead of reaching out to see what we can actually do in this lifetime. Or make a move and see if it puts us in the right position to smile and place a checkmate, satisfied with the clever wit we applied. Don't underestimate the moves you make because each one is important in your developmental rate, bringing you either closer or further away from the true happiness and fulfillment that you are able to attain. Take your turn. But don't miss out on opportunities because you were too busy surveying one side of the board, one aspect of your life, when you need to be assessing each position with careful precision, because each decision you've made so far in life has led you here. Watching people like me get up on a stage as I pour out my thoughts, emotions, hopes, and dreams, as well as situations I've encountered and have seen, into this stream of words that flow from my lips and slide into your mind for you to perceive however you wish or see fit. Hopeful that you don't dismiss the lessons and wisdom that I, along with the other poets, extend. I've sat in your seat, so that means you can stand where I place my feet. All right, that's what I got. I was gonna read and then I was like, maybe I'm not gonna read, but yeah.
Thank you so much for reading because that was so dope, yo. I appreciate it. Like, thank you so much. Everybody, unmute yourselves and tell Kittay how much she's appreciated and
Word,
loved.
wow, that was absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you for reading.
Yeah, Kittay, I love the extended chess metaphors. Beautiful.
Yes,
Great work.
yes.
Definitely. All right. So Maddie's got she's got a 30-minute break and she could read next. So we had her tentative, you know what I mean? And so coming up next, we've got Maddie, aka
Hi.
Baby. If you can
Hi, everybody.
bless us with the words.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see if my phone's gonna make it. Okay. Hi, everybody. How are you? I missed you all very much. I've been working a lot, and I got a full-time job, a breakup, a new apartment to move into, an old apartment to move out of, all in like the same 30 days. So, and I work on Fridays now, so I miss you guys. But I'm gonna change my schedule. I'll make it happen. Anyway, new poem, new shit. The coroner will gut all the names from my body before I'm clean enough for the earth to take me back. Only am I beautiful in death, or while playing dead, I'm dying, forgive me. I want to know how come love's always left me wanting. In confession, I would beg two things only, grace or mercy, and God answered, you want more than you deserve. I mean, don't you dare quote the sacred text at my funeral. Don't say Holy Father, because the same God who raised you up to be this angry is the same one that brought you to your knees, asking, begging all those years just for him to withhold the answer and justify it. So Zeus can't stop touching his daughters and then condemning them to cursed lives. I keep reenacting my crucifixion, digging for the rib that made me woman in all the wrong men's chests. How is it that all the male gods can't stop fucking their children over? Sometimes my father would just hold me, his hands the echo chamber. I get to be the wet blanket. So I need a good man like I need a hole in the head. Jesus Christ, I've let almost anyone play God for a night because when they're finished, I get to speak. And were there no punishing gods instead, this pain would be allowed. The words I say would count towards where I'm going after this life. Were this a psalm for the children of men who'd rather nail their own kin to the cross than come downstairs and apologize for the mess of themselves, I could call this body a church. Each stutter of my speech a communion wafer, each trigger a commandment. Were this a psalm for anyone rising from their starvation years out of hunger or out of spite? Were I desecrated and then made righteous again, you would call this body an altar, call this form I hold more than something more than just a flinch, an apology. And could these words I write raise the dead in me? I'd have never gone to church. I exist as an effigy to light outside of the coffin, where the mic a rosary, each bead a prayer, where my tongue holy water, then I could spit an incantation into thin air. Were you to cross my body, you could call me Lord. You could call this container of rage where I live a rapture, and I come by honestly. All this weeping and dread and grief, and yeah, maybe somewhere there is a man who won't meet my confessions with silence, but stifle a laugh, giggle, and ask, is that it? Why you're always sorry? Who will meet me halfway even when I am unchaste, ungrateful, unsaved? But my hands are healing. I preach to the voice memo in my phone and it cauterizes me there. Before I became this sacrifice, what I was made for, before I had to explain my skin, my pain body, my scarred up half-life, I was something before this boundless form, what you call God, before it buried you in the work. Before you make any objections to my sacrilege, just know Jesus Christ would curse his father too for what he had to live through. Jesus Christ would love this shit. Just know, Jesus Christ, whether or not you can hold the dirt of me, I don't need your permission to speak any name in vain. Call it wholly undeserving of my love. Boom.
Mattie, as always, on
Ooh.
point. It's so
Yeah.
fire.
Thank
I
you.
hope you can get your schedule switched around so we can hear more of you because we miss
Thanks,
you so
guys.
much. You know, you always a big part of the Open Minds family. We just absolutely love you and adore you. So, yeah, we hope that we get to see more of you.
Thank you. I love you guys. Love you so much.
I am never the same after hearing Mattie poetry.
Yeah.
Never.
Hey,
It is
yeah.
Good
Love
luck.
you back, Mattie.
Love you all. I've been listening to you guys all night. I just haven't been able to be on my phone that much. I love you all. Everybody's been amazing. Love you.
Right, thank you so much. Everybody give it up for Mattie one more time.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yo,
CP,
there's
thank you for
only
the poem.
been
CP, I love you, man. Thank you, baby.
there's only been like one person that I know that can fuck with heavyweights at that size, and that was Hoist Gracie. But Mattie, damn, for your size, you are a fucking heavyweight. That's ridiculous.
Right, for sure.
Thank you.
And speaking about, you know, the Open Minds family and everything, we got another big part of it. You know, he's like the third wheel in this thing. Is me, Catalyst, and Magus, pretty much. You know, and Gustav, we love you. We love you so much. If you could bless us with some words, I'd appreciate it, brother.
Love you back, Thomas, Catalyst, beloved poets. I have two LSD poems tonight. On April 19th, 1943, Albert Hoffman ingested 250 micrograms of LSD. The Swiss chemist began to feel intense changes in his perception. Thus began his cosmic consciousness reception. He got on his bicycle to go home, but hallucinations followed him as he did roam through the streets of Basel, his hometown. He feared he was having a breakdown. But soon enough, his trip turned pleasant. Kaleidoscopic visions were omnipresent. Colors, sounds, and shapes all shifted as through his mind the visions drifted. Albert had synthesized a powerful psychoactive substance for altering consciousness amongst us. For this we celebrate Bicycle Day, when Albert Hoffman discovered a new way to open the doors of the hidden mind, a gift he gave to all mankind. And this is Multiverse Mirror. I have to share about the time I did window pane LSD and looked in the mirror to see me, my past, present, future, all melted with my face. A singularity opened up in its place, total oneness in time and space, thoughts all lost without a trace, vanished visions of existence, multidimensional. Whatever this was, it wasn't conventional. And just like that, it disappeared. A hallucination, just something weird that happened one day long ago. I promise to never forget it, though. This feeling's hard to maintain. It's a magic trick of the brain. Every time I do hallucinogens now, the feeling returns, that forever wow, vast oneness of all things, a multiverse of super strings. You all, thank you.
Thanks, Magus.
Yay, Vegas! I love it.
Yes.
Albert Hoffman, yo. If it wasn't for that man, I think the consciousness level here on Earth would be about half of what it is, maybe less. So yeah, big props to him. Big props for Magus for that poem.
Think about it. If Albert Hoffman hadn't synthesized LSD, we may never have met Thomas.
Yeah, Open Minds probably wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Albert Hoffman.
No
So
telling where we'd be without it.
yeah, so.
Right?
Quick story. So many of you may know the story of Timothy Leary and how he dosed his students as an experiment.
Yeah.
But many of you may not know the follow-up story where when he went to prison for doing so, they were giving him a behavioral test to see where they would place him. After the second question, he realized he wrote the fucking test. So what he did was he answered the questions because he knew what the test meant. So he answered all the questions. So he knew it would put him in a minimum works security camp in Minnesota, hopped the fence, went to Canada, and lived out his fucking life.
Fuck yeah. And that's the creative mind that LSD allows you to have. For sure, man. That was cool. I didn't actually know that. So thank you for sharing that with us, man. Yo, coming up next, we have one of my favorite poets in the world, host of the Monday night New Yorkers Poets Cafes. This man is a force to be reckoned with. Thunder God in the building. Yo, his pen, I don't even know how anyone could ever even lift it. I don't even know how he lifts it because this thing packs a punch, bro. It's so heavy, so dense. I don't even think he writes with a pen. I think he writes with light or laser beam or some shit, man. Like, how do you write magic like that? You don't use regular tools, human tools. Like, he got some sort of fucking technology that nobody even knows about, man. Like,
he writes with lightning because he's a storm god.
Right? Straight. He be etching that shit with lightning straight into stone, man. Like, we love you, man. Yeah, he uses all the elements, right? Bam, pulls together. Love you, bro. If you could bless us with some words, man, I'd appreciate it.
Yo, man, you know what? You might be the second best cat that I know who does intros behind this cat that I know who hosts a Monday night online open mic. No, listen.
Hey, I learned from you, man, from going to that and stuff and learning from your energy, bro. Like, honestly, yo, because when I started this a year ago, like, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, you and Ray Jane, like, y'all taught me so much about how to be a good host and how to intro people and all that, you know what I'm saying? And, like, so, like, thanks, man. Like, I appreciate you, you know?
Listen, man, here's the beauty of knowledge. When you share it with someone, they go and mix it with what they know, and eventually we can learn from them, right? And that is the whole point. I'm hoping that every time you come through, you learn something, right? Because then every time I come come from there to here, then I can learn something from you that you learn from me, man, because you're going to take it and do it what you do with it. You know what I mean? Listen, to every single poet who has touched this mic this evening, from the opener to the features to the folks who are coming after, I really can't tell you how much I truly appreciate you for doing what you do, for staying connected to this thing that we call creativity, staying plugged into this thing that we call poetry. Listen, the future is listening, right? So please make sure that you do everything that you normally do when you write poetry, and then turn it up about 10,000 watts. All right. So, listen, the features were ridiculous. In case y'all didn't know, I'm gonna need y'all to put that together in some sort of package, whether it be an album, whether it be a video montage, however. Love, Phongo, work that shit out for real. I'm gonna sling some new shit at y'all, and I'm gonna get out of here. Shout out the Inhumans in the building, Storm Gods in the building. Listen, it's been a while, man, but it's some new shit for y'all. This is where yesterday meets tomorrow. When conscious awakens with sharp shards of magnified glory, sending nightmares screaming for cover under puddles of tears that vertigo dolly into natural occurrence where clocks, 4-alarm fire carpe diem to REM sleep, put backfields in motion, scraping yesterday's failures from news cycle reflections of circumstances that crack mirror images with complicated choices. We hit terrain running. 100 miles and gunning for better horizons with treasure and turnstiles that sound like promotion or refund or technicality, which happens to break out of perfectly confined caskets, cubicles that abuse you and got the nerve to call it policy, reprimanded for roaming beyond company lines within confines of handbook spines that combine treachery wrapped in luxury, finished with a bow marked middle class, with a splash of bougie, still make you more modified Mazda, makeshift Maybach, masked as Cadillac, less Tesla, Airbus compressor, frequent flyer of opulent wings that soar so high they don't come with price tags, because that would add lag. They high speed, low drag, miles above pennies for wishing wells, falling from starving wallets packed with bills marked late or final notice, disconnection from power junction, grid square dysfunction, turn streets to cage with sharp edges, make fast and furious red lights skittish. Beauties and beasts and Buicks and Jeeps parked next to old schools on crumbling streets with trues and voles to cruise control, sorrow from down and out to Paradise City where grass grows like gritchy greenery in Humboldt County, proudly loud as Hendrix chords plug into Outliers cookbook to bubble and pop your simulation into Matrix Manifesto, trying to Autobot Decepticons, Republicans, Comic Cons, using colorful pages to galactic every fantastic 4 plus 4 more to Silver Surf semblance of normalcy into ravaged remnants where reenactments become truth, used to educate youth of time machine tinctures called free lunch, hidden in curriculum blue-collar proving grounds when great was the commonplace. Press escape in Fortune 500 fashion, call it Mayday, bailout of big businesses or bailout of burning bonds, turn skyscrapers, bottom feeders, building bridges between bastards and blasphemous to befuddle bantamweight brains, make alchemists of catalysts and call it rain. Black clouds bring investor weather to flood bottom line and bull market trends that lend to evolutionary AI. Get involved, secure slivers of shares where wealth is shared by and for wealthy Waynes, Waltons, and Washingtons with West Wing whims that become hymns, speaking proof into actions with deadly consequences, all in the names of denominations of damnation that reinforce these are the days of our lives, paid for by the blood of complacency we call paychecks. Peace, y'all.
Yo, bruh. I fucking love you, man. You are a force to be reckoned with, man. Like, I absolutely love all your poetry, man. Like, thank you so much for coming through tonight and sharing that with us, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do for the community. I appreciate you appreciating the community. I appreciate all the appreciation that other people have for your appreciation. You feel me? Bet. Hey, everybody, unmute yourselves and give it up for Elemental.
I'm pretty damn sure I saw lightning come out that brother's mouth. I
Compliment
saw that
fucking
shit.
new shit. What an honor and privilege. Lucky we are.
Dope.
That was beyond ridiculous, man. Every time you had a punchline, I try to remember it, but they came with another one, and I just kept losing track, man. You had so many. That was beyond fire, man. Super dope.
Right? It's like trying to step in the ring with Tyson and just pop, pop, pop. Hold on, I'm trying to remember something here.
Hotline bling, man. You know what I mean? Trying to have that hotline bling. You know what I mean? I know these cats do suicide lines. I'm trying to have hotline bling in this bitch. You know what I mean?
So y'all poets in here, so y'all know exactly what I mean when I say, like, you ever heard a line like, God damn, I wish I wrote that shit. Fucking, they call it abuse and have the nerve to call it policy. I've been trying to put that in the words for fucking years, and you just did it. So,
Yo, that dopest poem that he did, man. Yo, I can't even with that, man. Some of this shit you said at that one, bro, like, I don't think could ever be a doper poem. Like when he was like, "I'm the dopest." I mean, I'm the dopest. The dopamine, like that line with that, yeah, like that. Cause yeah, that shit was so dope, bro. Like it's still in my head, dude. Like I fucking love you, man. Yeah, coming up, man. We got 2 people left on the mic, and then, we're going kind of long, so we're not gonna do a round 2 tonight. But what a fucking night, guys! Like. That feature, yo, everyone brought fire, the love in the room, the tributes. Like, I can't express how much I love y'all and how much I appreciate y'all coming to my open mic, man. Like you guys truly are my extended family, and I love every last one of y'all.
thank you for doing this every week, for having the energy and the bandwidth and like giving a place for people to do this. Like that's why people come, because they know you are real and you are doing this for us. So we're here for you when we can be. Fridays are hard.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I do. And even when I'm feeling like shit, like I think I've only missed 2 shows. Out of the whole year we've been doing this, and it's been every Friday, and yeah, I appreciate y'all so much, man. But yeah, coming up next, we've got Terri Rose. So yeah, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, I'd appreciate
What's
it.
up? Got 2 short
Got
pieces.
karaoke partner right there.
I know, we got to do that again. That was too much fun. Okay. So, September is Suicide Awareness Month. Just so you know, this poem has got some mentions of that in case you need a trigger warning. I wrote this poem instead of writing a suicide note. Who am I kidding? I don't have the guts. But I did write the poem to keep my faith burning for another tomorrow, because Lord knows I can't seem to find it anywhere else. The American dream is not available to me because I can't afford it. Many have paid its price with their lives. Most of the people that I know spend their days slaving away, thinking that there's going to be a time when they can retire, and then they can have that elusive dream come true. But most have been deceived. What do you believe? And this one is, I have one about hugs and I have one about
I want to hear the hug one.
the hugs. Okay.
Yeah, I want hugs, man.
You want hugs? I'll come over to Canada and give you some hugs.
Yeah, I want a
Okay.
big old hug from you.
It's going to have to be virtual. Sorry. Right now. You know, because money's tight. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want to go. I want to go places, but I can't. I don't have the money.
Yeah.
So okay, what is it about hugs? My hugs last longer than usual. My poetry community have given me bone-crushing embraces. Others are longer than I would even give. COVID changed all this for about 2 years, which probably explains the slip in my mental health. Thankfully, we are back to warm greetings that involve physical touch. I feel most home when there are no restrictions. Psychologically, hugs release oxytocin and are proven to increase your life. It's kind of a cliffhanger.
I like it. I like it. If you got another quick one, I would love to hear
I have all of mine are quick.
it.
I don't write nothing but quick poems.
Yeah.
I kind of like this one because it's from there's a quote on the end that I like. I'll read this one. Well, he came along to give me hope when I had just about given it up for good. The thought of going through the motions on autopilot, never feeling any pain, never feeling anything at all. Isn't that how we were supposed to get through this life? That's what I kept telling myself anyway. Try not to notice how deader than dead my marriage was. Then he had the audacity to come along and give me that hope of breathing again. As in, I took that breath because anything worth doing is worth doing badly. And that last quote is from Jack Gilbert from Failing and Flying.
I love that. I love that quote. That's great. Thank you so much, Terry. I love you.
Thank you.
Everybody, unmute yourself and give it up for Terry Rose.
Thanks for listening.
Great
Very
short
nice,
poems.
very sweet,
Terry,
very lovely.
awesome.
Thank you. That was great.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up next, we got a new member of the community. So dope with his poetry, bro. This word game is insane. I don't know what he's got in store for us tonight, but I'm really excited. I think we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read y'all a poem after him to close out the night. But yeah, Cozzy, if you can unmute yourself and bless us with some words, brother, I'd appreciate it.
All right, hello, everyone. I hope everyone is good. So as y'all could remember, if y'all remember last week, I left off with my ABCs at letter P. So, excuse me, I shall give y'all the next three letters, which are Q, R, S. So, without further ado, I present to you the letters Q, R, S. Quellingly qualified, qualitatively quiescent, and quizzically questionable quotas. Quietly quoting quaintly quilted and crackily cued queries while on quantumly qualm quenching and quintessentially quid pro quoing quest for quicker giving queens to quickly quell queasingly queer quirkiness. Quadratically quarantined the quarterly quarried quagmires from Quantico to Quebec. Question the court's equality of quantitative quotients. Also, the quarreling quintuplets, quippy quinceanera at Quiznos, required quite qualified quarterbacking. My quivering quads were quiveringly quaky. What quesadillas, though? Anyway, rightfully relished the radiantly resonant rejoicings of righteously rudimentary rewards. Resurgently rise to responsibly reach our respectively refreshing resolutions. Respectfully reason with reasonably rational reasonings and receptively responsive retorts. Repugnantly repudiate the revoltingly reticent rats rigidly refusing to relinquish their repressively royal reigns. Remember to relentlessly resist the ruthlessly rude ramblings, rantings, and ravings of ritualistically religious rejects rapidly rendering to redundant right-winged radicals. Refinely resurrect the reminiscent resilience from the ridiculously rustic rubble of rusty ruins to the roaringly revolutionary and romantically renewed rapport recently realized. Rebelliously reveal the refurbished renovation of rampantly retrograding relationships. realistically request robustly ratifying reinstatements of reserved rights regarding restitution, reimbursement, retribution, and redemption, or run. Because sometimes stoic silence is essentially soft and seldomly spoken speech. Sympathetically sincere sentiment substantively supports successfully symbiotic solidarities. The sensible salvaging of spare neat sweet salvation surprisingly specializes in scintillatingly speechless and sufficiently stimulating satisfaction. So sprightly spread is semantically sophisticated and scripturally synopsized soliloquy, selflessly saving the soulfully sacred spirituality from systematically stampeding stigmas and sadistically speculative slaughterings. Because succumbing to sardonically stipulative and strategically suspicious sanctions is sordidly stifling and sneaky seductions, sacrilegiously serves to severely sever the serenely satiating sanctimony of our sadly sparse species. So skillfully saunter in symmetrically synchronized steps so as to safely survey the soberingly sickening swarming of steadily spawning subjugation while spitefully spitting on slyly slick slanderers. So. Thank you.
Yo, man, I think everybody in this room can appreciate the level of skill, bro, to pull this alphabet poem off that you've been feeding us, man. Like, bro, like not only like is the wordplay so good, like that must be so hard to spit, bro. And you got the skill to pull it off, man. Like that shit is so dope, man. Like I love hearing it, man. I love hearing from you. And I'm gonna see you on Thursday, for that writing thing. And I got a little writing game for you, and I'm excited to see what you could do with it, 'cause I know how you are with your words, bro. So we gonna have some fun, man. We gonna have some fun. Yo, I'm gonna drop that link in there for y'all. But first, everybody unmute yourself and give it up for Cozzy Coz.
Cozzy Coz.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Marvelous.
Okay,
So you doing so well done.
Thank you.
You just inspired me. I'm going to create a new form.
Okay.
And the title of the poem will be one word. And if it's a 5-letter word, then the poem has to have 5 stanzas. And each stanza has to have a number of words that is the number of that letter. And they all have to start with that letter.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. I'm going to put that together. You inspired that. Thank you.
I am excited. I
Yo.
can't wait to see it, man. For real.
Yeah,
That's an
definitely,
awesome
man. That's
idea.
dope. That is.
Wow.
Definitely, man. Yo, what a great night, man. What a great night. I quit drinking again, and I want to share this poem with y'all. I wrote it in detox last time I got sober. And I'm proud that I can read it again. And I used to read it every morning, to remind myself, why I quit drinking. And so I'm gonna go ahead and end the night off with this one. It's called Drip Drip. Drip Drip. Sip, swig, guzzle, then chug. Those evil spirits seep into my blood. Muzzles my demons, blurs my past. Go ahead, have another glass. 3 more, maybe 4, then swings open the door. Bottles disappear, and I'm floored. The muzzle comes undone, the past stumbles back in. I'm a prick to those I love, an emotional wreck from within. I know from here, I'll never win. I've been fighting for this sin for so long, it's time for my body and my mind to move on. My heart and soul tells me to be strong. I got this. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, that is my new goal, my ultimate prize. I have the most beautiful soul right here by my side. I don't ever want to let her down. She sees it in my eyes. Sorry there, Mr. Booze. You lose. I have a true love, one so deep and strong, longer than any chug. My queen empowers me. You just devoured me. I can't say I'm mad. At times you had my back, got me through some rough shit, but in the end, it wasn't worth it. An eye for an eye, I guess. So thanks for nothing, you liquid son of a bitch. Every bottle I get my hands on will end up in a ditch. Fuck alcohol. Drip, drip.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck alcohol is right.
Yes,
I fucking
fuck
love it.
it.
Yes.
We are proud of you, brother. We are proud of you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, proud of you. Got
Straight up
your
yes.
back, Thomas.
Mama's
That's a
very
hard struggle,
proud.
man. Trust me. I've struggled with it. I still struggle with it, man. For real.
Yeah.
So
Being able to
bravo,
look at
kudos.
yourself in the mirror and say, I fucks with you. I fucks with you. I don't need no other help. I fucks with that reflection in the mirror. That's what that shit is. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Man, what a night. Unfortunately, it's coming to a close. So I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. I want to give big thanks and love to Love Infinite and Fongo for just one of the most amazing features that I've ever heard, man. The way y'all put that together and performed it, it was beautiful, man. That shit should be like a movie or something, like it needs to be built into something, dude. Like Sfongo, you need to animate it somehow, or you know what I mean? Like that thing, it's like it was a dialogue between the two of y'all, and like there was so much theatrical elements to it. It wasn't just poetry. Like y'all took it to the next level with that, and it was amazing. I feel so blessed to be able to witness that. So I love you all. If you guys want to unmute and spread love throughout the community, we hope to see you here next Friday.
Wonderful
Good night,
night,
Love you
everyone. Thank you.
all. Great
Love
night.
you.
Yeah.
Love.
Peace, love,
Peace.
and poetry, y'all.
Enjoy your
Salute
week.
sublime.
Coming out delectable.
Thank you,
See y'all
Tommy.
soon. Holla.
Love,
Great
man.
Friday night.
Yeah, what a night. Hey, thank y'all so much, man. Like every time we do these features and stuff, the feature really sets the tone and pace of the night, right? Because people know who's gonna be featuring, and you guys created an amazing night. And I just want to thank y'all again for that. Like I can't thank you enough. So I
Thank
hope you have a blessed weekend, and I hope to see y'all next Friday.
Hope you have a wonderful weekend too, and much love to you, Thomas. I know it must be hard, to give up, but you're so strong. I just hope you remember how strong you are, to walk away from anything that was easy to do. You're strong, so just keep believing in yourself, and I know you got whatever you want to put your mind to, you got it. So I'm sending you
Yeah,
love. I know it's hard, so.
thank you. I
Oh,
appreciate that. I really do.
love you.
I
Good
love you
night.
too, Mama. Good night, Mama. I love you. Mwah. Good night, everybody. I hope to see y'all next Friday. Have a wonderful week.
Good night.